How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Hello, and welcome all to the podcast that drinks and knows things. I am the host for this week. I am Ben, aka Sly of House McLean. Tonight's episode is Mama and Papa, It's Supper Time. We're recording this on 7/28/2018. We're talking about Season 4, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. Episode title is Breaker of Chains. Joining me, as always, is Glenn of House Dog.
Hooty hoo.
Lucan of House Blackmead.
Hello, people.
And Abby, a.k.a. Gertie of House Condescension.
Hey!
I tried. Okay, I tried. All right. What are we all drinking tonight?
Beer. King of beers. Budweiser.
Got the
That's what I
king.
got in my hand.
I got some New Belgian Fat Tire tonight.
Fat tier.
Fat Tire. Ab, are you?
I got yep, Duplin, Black River Red.
Have we messaged them yet? I mean, I feel like
Multiple
it should be
times.
sole sourced at this
I
point.
even tried to get into their dinner show that's sold out. They won't allow me to come to the place. I don't know why.
I think they think you're some kind of groupie.
The
They're
number
like,
one
I don't know. It's a little weird at this point.
And like she won't try any other wines of ours. She just only the one. I don't know.
You're the worst.
So,
I am.
before we move on, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our live chat watchers. We got OTDA, Bailey Riddle hanging out, and I believe the Podfather and the Mother of Drunkards watching as well. So, welcome all. Feel free to talk in the chat with us. Now, Abby's in our chat room as well tonight, so no spoilers. Got to keep it clean for her. So, all right, moving on. Are we... Okay, then...
We're not moving on.
well, no,
We are moving on.
We are moving
Further.
on. I just noticed an edit there. So our show is produced with the love and support of our wonderful Imaginary Legion patrons. Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. Now, Glenn, on to the news. Anything new going on with the show?
Not really anything cool or anything, but I found an article on IGN with the HBO programming chief, Casey Boys, and basically he says episodes in Season 8 will not be 2 hours long, according to his knowledge. He also thinks that the first season trailer will launch in 2018, but he has not been specifically told when it will drop. And then also I think he said the Season 8 will be sometime in the first half of 2019.
Really narrowed it down for us.
Right.
I thought we've already heard that it's going to be April. That was weird to me.
There's never been anything confirmed. We've always speculated
Well, the
because
first half of the year is
anywhere
I
from
mean, April
January.
fits into that.
Yeah,
I get
Yeah.
that. But I thought that they
That
had
window.
released at some point. But
same.
no. He said the first half of the Super Bowl.
that's what it was. It's gonna be the halftime show. We're gonna directly compete with the Super Bowl for ratings. That's a great choice.
Sadly, they probably would win. I mean, it'd be a close.
I feel like they would probably
Well,
take a pretty big
I
chunk.
don't know.
They would
I mean,
take a chunk out of
take
the
a
Super
chunk.
Bowl.
I mean, they
for
yeah
sure.
they get 20 million
Take chunk from the Goonies
a
out of
week.
it.
They get 20 million watchers a week, which is unheard of for an HBO.
150
Yeah, but still, taking 20 million from football, that's impressive.
It depends who's in the game, I guess.
That's true.
If it's a goddamn Patriot.
Again. All right.
I love we have no patriot love here. Nobody was like, "Hey, Glenn," nothing. We all just kind of like chuckled politely.
And if someone in the chat appreciates the Patriots, please leave. No, I actually don't care at all.
Yeah.
Quite literally
They'll
don't care.
probably be in there,
Yeah.
so.
More than likely.
More power to them. They've done it for a long time.
Well, when you break the rules to get there,
Thanks,
it works.
Thanks,
Oh Lord,
But-
different podcast.
Anyway, no, I really don't give a crap about football. I'm going with the South Park
London Silly
reference.
Nannies.
But London Silly Nannies. All right, so we're going to move on with the episode. We got our previous episode recap, and that is Glenn again.
Oh, me again. Cool. So, previous episode recap. Ramsay takes the girls on a little stroll. Roose meets the Reek. Jamie is learning to become a switch hitter. Hashtag Shea Stadium. not going to be working here much longer.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Stannis Burns, his brother-in-law, the Red Woman, meets with Shireen. Many personalities clash at the royal wedding. Another giant baby pussy bites the dust. Pandemonium sets in the capital.
That's fair. That sounds about what happened.
About right.
Yeah. So, all right. Again, we're talking about Season 4, Episode 3. The episode duration was 58 minutes long. It first aired on 4/20/2014. Directed by Alex Graves. It was written by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Abby, got the episode description.
Yes. Tyrion ponders his options. Tywin extends an olive branch. Jon proposes a bold plan. The Hound teaches Arya the way things are.
Okay.
The way things are.
We'll see if that is accurate.
You guys remember that in Babe? You ever see Babe?
Mm-hmm.
When like the three mouse are introducing the next scene or whatever. Like one of them was called The Way Things Are.
That's awesome. I don't remember that specifically, but it seems to fit.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
So
basically
really quick,
the
you guys
pig.
keep talking about this, but chat, give me an option between 1, 2, and 3 really quick. Somebody in chat just called it out 1, 2, or 3. So go on with your conversation.
Oh no! Basically, I was just gonna say this when Babe was trying to fit in at the farm.
One Bay.
Beyonce.
Oh,
Bay
Lord.
the pig.
I said Babe.
I know. It sounded like you said Bay, which is
The Bay of Pigs invasion.
Bay of
Trying to
Pigs.
fit in.
Thank you, Alicia.
the Bay of Pigs.
All right.
So she just picked your question for you?
She just picked my question for me. I had a few, and so I had to go with it. So, if we're ready, we're going to move on to our Quill and Tankard pub trivia. The points standing as of right now, I believe.
It's not updated.
Well, I know, but I believe you have 2 points, and none of us have any
I got
others.
1.
Oh, okay, 1 and 1. So, 1 and 1. That's correct.
I think I do have 2 because I got both Glenn and I got the one right last episode.
He asked the question.
Oh,
Sorry.
he's stumped. We both have had
I
stumpers.
stumped.
You both stumped, yeah.
Stumpers.
Yeah.
Stumpers.
I was
So-
been writing down the questions.
We
so
both quiplashed everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
so,
true.
AK, I
2 to 1.
wish you would have picked one of the other ones because it's kind
Oh,
of the
come on,
easiest.
AK.
But
Jeez.
that's all right.
Monkey.
Be better next time, AK.
Oh,
Tywin has a conversation with Tommen about good kings, smart kings, holy kings. Who was the just king?
Thumbs up when you're ready.
I did my weird thumb.
Abby, are you ready?
Sure.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink
The
and I
hell?
know things.
Wrong button, Luke. All right. In 3, 2, 1, hit enter. Okay, the answers from Glenn, Oris. From Luke, Oris. From Abby, not the Wisdom King.
That's right.
Luke and Glenn
True.
are correct. And Abby technically is correct as well. But, yep, so
Yeah.
2 points, or 1 point each to Luke and Glenn.
Shoot.
Yeah, I know. I'll try to. My other 2 would have been easy stumpers, but
Well,
Can
Do you have
we go
time,
ahead and
or-
hear him?
sure. What are the 3 houses that don't have enough money to raid a pantry?
oh, that's a good one.
Musgrave, Hay, and the third one was Peasbury.
Pillsbury,
Mm.
It's Peasbury.
What'd you say the first one?
the Doughboy.
Musgood.
Mustgood?
Musgood.
Musgood. Okay, yeah. Yeah. You said something a little different. You said
Maybe
like
I said Musgrave.
You said Musgrave. That's what, but you got
That's a
Musgood.
common name.
Alex Graves.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
then what new book does Shireen give Davos? I need the actual title.
I got this one too. I was ready for him. The Life and Adventures of Elio Grivas, the First Sword of Bravos.
Thank you very much.
I was ready.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So you had them picked. All right. Fair enough.
There weren't many in this one where
Yeah. So yeah.
I would have gotten them all wrong, so fair's fair.
All right. So we're gonna start with the episode. We go have the opening credits. Peter Dinklage has the title again. King's Landing, Dragonstone, Dreadfort, Winterfell, The Wall, and Marine. Nothing new on this. Everything's pretty much the same.
Still looks good.
Still looks good.
Same song.
So
All right.
a minute 58 before we get to the show. So
Yeah.
All right, so we're in King's Landing. We start with GBP, Cersei, Tyrion, Tywin, Sansa, Dantos, and Microfinger. Cersei cuddles her giant GB or her Cersei cuddles her purple GBP.
Her giant baby
GBP. Tyrion is
That's so messed
seized.
up.
Tywin bars the gates, and Sansa is reunited with an old family friend. I'll start with Abby.
I think this is the first time, at least Tywin allows people to see his anger. Like he
in
looks
public?
mad.
Like in public?
Yes. And maybe not even, because even when he's talking with his kids and he like raises his voice, everything is always seems calculated or to make his point. Like he gets loud to make his point, where this was, he seemed mad, but I don't know if I believe that he cares if Joffrey died or not. Other
Okay,
than
so
it
it's
looks
almost-
bad
almost-
for his family.
I wonder if, since it is public,
he's-
he's putting on a show. of
That's
that.
what-
He's been mad before whenever they had Jamie.
Yeah,
They captured
that's
him.
my son. That's the one that
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
son.
you're right.
that
You're
was
right.
the scene that I was thinking of as well, because it's always like,
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
definitely
I mean-
more than raised his voice before.
Yeah, I'll agree that
Yeah.
he usually isn't
Pretty
doesn't
well
get mad.
composed.
Yeah, but
But
Every
yeah, I
now and
wondered if
then.
he was just putting on a front for, because everybody's watching, bar the gates, and then we see him later on. So I don't know. He's a calculating person.
Yeah. Luke.
calculation.
My note kind of comes towards the very end of this scene, and Glenn hates when I go out of turn, but I got picked. So it seems like Microfinger is kind of partially framing Sansa here a bit, right, to make sure that she can't just like back out at this point. Is
Or
everyone
at least
get that
making her
feel?
think she's
Right, kind of
gonna be.
guilting her into, well, this is where we're at, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty bad for you right now, leaving at this time,
Yeah.
which I picked for you, but no one's gonna care because it looks like you might be involved. So it's real interesting
You
the way
did
he
it,
played
but
that.
Yeah.
Right,
you did.
and he could say that she was wearing the weapon,
Yeah.
right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
so it.
Well, he
there's a
could,
lot
but
of
then
side
at the same
points.
time, she sees him destroy it. So now the
I
evidence
have
is gone.
so many questions about this.
All right. Well, we're gonna circle
Yeah,
back
no,
to
you're
it.
fine.
We're gonna go
Yes.
with Glenn's because I did not read the notes, and so I should have got his.
I just think one hell of a barring the gates and seizing all the ships. It just seemed like he says that, and then Sansa like gets away, and I don't think he sees like one guard or anything or anybody like really being proactive about doing anything. I don't
No,
know.
and she's also in like a full dress. Like she cannot be that fast. You have to imagine she has fancy shoes on. She's
Right.
faster than your knights.
But you figure there's officially 7 gates around King's Landing, and Dantos knows his path. He already has this planned out of this is the route we're gonna take to get the hell out of here, and and Dantos is quick for a fat guy, He's got that Ben Hanscom deceitfully quick fat guy ness going.
Fast fat guy.
Yeah, he's quick.
And
He's not fast. But
let's just take a minute to appreciate the fact that Sansa actually left with somebody.
yes,
I don't even. I mean, like
he
this
did
has been
now.
since season 1. Sansa, leave.
But he's the first one to do the tropey. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
No, he's not, because the Hound did that.
No.
He's like he did the same thing.
But he didn't say. He's like, come with me. I will protect you and all this. But like Dantos basically says,
Yeah.
come with me if you want. Basically, if you want to get. And she realized at this point, okay, well, shit, get out of here.
Only took, like 4 fucking seasons. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, way to go.
Right. My note of the scene was I liked Microfinger's little line there because he was a drunk and a fool, and I don't trust drunk fools. Money buys a man silence for a time, but a bullet to the heart silences him forever. And I want to say this is probably accent number 4, or is it number 5 for Microfinger?
I don't.
I forgot to start counting of who he's talking to, but this was an obvious new variation.
I think this is the one that I'm most familiar with.
Is it? Okay.
Because so I didn't really.
You wouldn't last one day out in the Scrooge.
This is the one that when Glenn or I are speaking in Microfinger voice, this is the one. So this is what just feels so natural.
Yeah, gotcha. Aiden Gillen, love the actor, and he does a good job on this. It's
That's
just
what day out the Scrooge.
And if you don't mind jumping later on, we have an Arya scene with the Hound, and Arya is like displeased with something he does because she feels like it's not honorable. And I feel like Sansa shows here exactly the same thing. Like, why kill him? And yes, he could go talk or whatever, but he helped me, and he helped us. You know, it's just a very
money talks.
Yeah, but he served his purpose.
I know, but that's just the stark in both of them, even though they're so starkly different.
They're just
Womp,
they're really netting out.
Yeah, they are.
All right. Anything else on this scene? Did you, Abby? You said you had a couple questions, or so many questions.
Okay, so the necklace was the poison that was put in the cup.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The beautiful necklace of House Holler. That is apparently not.
Not the question.
Not an heirloom.
not the trivia
Shoot.
question.
No, it's not.
Oh,
the
gotcha.
house. He had it made
A couple weeks
as a
before.
2 weeks
big
ago.
ruse, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you could have asked me that. It was 2 weeks ago. I would have known that one. But how did the necklace poison get into the wine that only Joffrey
Good
drank?
question.
If
Let's
she
move on.
wasn't.
I'm kidding.
No, but
It is a good question.
that was a good
It's a
question.
great
Because it's
question.
not. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
It's hard to tell.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be a prediction, I guess, what I think happened. Maybe.
Perfect. That'd be a
Okay.
good prediction.
Good job.
Maybe.
All right. So next scene, we're moving to Marjorie and Olenna. Death and marriages are discussed. Aren't they about one and the same thing? Just
Death and marriages.
Depending on who you're married to.
right. So Glenn, I'll let you start on this one.
Yeah, I think Marjorie is basically just saying like, "Hey, I'm cursed at this point because, you know, this is the second time that I've, you know, either married or been married to someone and they've bit the dust or whatever."
Yeah.
So,
The first one
you
I
know,
married was
I
a
know.
known pillow biter. The second one was only happy when
Like
he was
the
cruel to
torture
animals
or whatever.
You know.
yeah, so she knows how to pick them.
Right. Wonder who number 3 is going to be.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, okay. That's prediction number 2. There we go. All right.
All right, Abby, what do you got a note on this?
Well, I believe this is where Lady Olenna. I'm trying to read through these notes real quick so I don't steal anybody's. But she says to him like, "You're happier watching him die than you would have been married to him."
Yeah.
Oh man, she just nail right on the head. She's a wise old lady, you know, and I think your note, Benj, has more what I have to say about this, so I'll let you take it.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine basically goes into hearing about her husband's death was actually kind of sweet. You can tell she didn't love him in the traditional sense, but after such a long companionship, it definitely was a loss for her. You know, she ended up, caring for him, and yeah, he was the one she suffered. She suffered to have his children and be in bed with him, and he was a oaf just like her son is, but she still cared about
It
him.
didn't sound like he was cruel at all.
No,
I mean,
he was good to her.
Even if he didn't love her, he was at least not
Yeah.
evil to
And
her.
here's the
like
thing:
we see a lot
there
of
was
times.
no contemplate or no indication that he didn't love her. She just didn't, feel that way about him. But after such a long time, because I think she doesn't say how, but it was years upon years. I think he died in older age as well. So, when you
Up
lose
until, sorry,
No,
I didn't
go
mean to
ahead.
cut you off.
no.
Up until this point, I thought that Sansa and Tyrion could have that type of relationship
Right.
where she looks back and thinks hypothetically about Tyrion dying in old age or whatever and being like, yeah, like I looked at his body, like laying there, and there was like feelings, but not, we didn't love each other, but we did this life together. And he was kind of my partner, maybe not the love of my life, but respect. So I got that same feeling from this. Except this is the guy that she said ran off the mountain because he didn't see it in the horse, right? Isn't that what happened when he died?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were thinking the mountain that rides.
Sorry, no,
That's what I thought of.
No,
Like,
I
like
just- I
literally
couldn't
ran
remember.
off a cliff.
It sounded familiar, but I
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at least what she says.
Yeah.
She says
who
like
knows?
how kind of he was dumb, but
Was anybody
a
there?
lovable dumb man, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, and
Likable.
kind of along with that is I feel like they, even if they weren't, in love, they had a sense of companionship over that much
Yes.
time where you're working together with somebody. They have a certain affinity, in your heart for them, and that's just what happens over time. So it's very realistic and
Go ahead,
pretty well
Kieran.
said. My note here is, you know, that she kind of talks about our alliance with the Lannisters remains just as necessary for them and is just as unpleasant for us as ever. Because this is where Marjorie's like, well, I was going to be queen. And Olenna's like, well, that's likely not going to change because of Joffrey dying. Like, they still need us entirely. And, yeah, no, it's just funny the way she put that. It's still
next
as,
man up.
as unpleasant for us as always.
Exactly. So, anybody got anything else on Marjorie and Olenna?
No.
Okay.
Nope, good scene.
No.
Good scene, yes. So we are going to stay in King's Landing with Tommen, Cersei, Tywin, Jaime, and GBP. This GBP takes a long nap. Tywin gives a lesson on what makes a good king. Jaime and Cersei mourn the loss in an uncomfortable way. I'm going to start with mine. Come along, grandson. I will explain to you the way to further the line. You know, it's like, that's kind of, you know, it's like he's 12 in the show. You know, I think they've aged him up 12, 13 maybe in the show-wise. But still, 12, 13-year-old. I mean, Tywin is the right guy to do it, you know, because he can do it very pragmatically. But still, you're an innocent, Tywin's an innocent, sweet boy. That's what always how he's been portrayed. So
Right.
You're getting the birds and bees from Grandpa Dance here. You know,
I mean, technically, his dad is deceased. So-
true.
Legally, his dad is deceased. Technically, he just walked right past him while that conversation was happening.
Yeah, and
Oh, did you like that Jamie looks at him and says, like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And he said, you will be. Like, I thought it was nice. I get it's this weird, messed up thing. But I don't know. Jamie, like I said, all these characters are, like, switching sides on me here. And I'm looking for those better points of Jamie. I thought it was nice that he
Right.
extended.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll open that can of worms here
So-
real quick. But
Yeah.
on-
right?
on- sorry, Abby. I went on Benji's note there. Like Tywin is legitimately like the only person that can talk to him about this at this point, right? I mean, because he's one hand of the king.
Yeah.
That's the future king, so he has to know this regardless of how old he is.
yeah,
And two, his real father can't do it because that would kind of sell him out. Like, you know, you got to go, oh, Uncle Jamie, can you tell me about,
yeah. Because he's been in the Kingsguard since he was 16. Technically, not supposed to.
know.
Yeah,
And three, Robert's dead.
Yeah.
You know, so like hey, this is on your shoulders now. You have to know what this is involved in. And I thought it was maybe interesting to start that conversation in front of his mom.
yeah. But I think that was Tywin's way too of saying, I'm in control.
And we're moving past this.
Yeah, we're
You
we're-
grieve however you want, Cersei, but
Right.
we have to keep this
He's got to step up
this
to
kingdom
the plate.
rolling.
yeah,
at this
exactly.
point.
Glenn, go ahead with your
And,
note.
yeah, like Cersei mentions it, and I agree with a lot of it. You know, this is hardly the place or the time. Like both talking about shit kings in front of a shit king, as he's just laying there. I just think like somebody dies, like give them the respect, like, and then talk elsewhere about shit like that. And then later in the scene when Jaime's jamming it into Cersei in front of the shit king, like again, that's something you would want to do in front of somebody that just died.
Yeah,
Right.
Out of respect for them.
Yeah, I gotta go. Since you brought it up, I have to put it in my. No matter how many times I see the scene, this portrayal of this, love scene, whatever, pisses me so fucking off because it's a rape. Any way you look at it, any way it's played out.
Let's ask it around the table.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait.
Talking
my-
Jaime, Cersei. What did you think?
I wouldn't. You said it was like a love scene, so I'm guessing just from this conversation we were having that in the book this is portrayed very differently, possibly, or maybe it's not
How
in the
did
book.
you feel watching
It was a
this?
rape. Like she says no, and he just
I don't care.
doesn't stop.
I don't care.
and
I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
More than
Well,
that,
there's
like
only one I don't care.
Oh, there were
I-
3 or 4.
Yeah,
Captions
there was-
were on.
Oh, okay.
Between
Yeah.
between 1 and 4,
Stop.
I don't care.
yeah, and definitely
And
accurate.
many stops don't.
Stops.
Oh, yeah.
This is not right.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe she's
Not
not
like
like
this.
slapping him or whatever, which not that they're married, but they've had this type of we saw before where she was like, "Oh, Jamie, don't," and then he did, and then
Yeah.
it became okay. But still, this was very much,
Yeah.
oh, horrible for
And-
Cersei in that moment, and just the disrespect for her son too. Their son.
Yeah. Well, and again, you're right in the line of, yes, this is a scene that happened in the books a bit differently. Quite a bit differently.
The connotation.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
starts very similar.
Yes.
It does start. I mean, it starts
But
almost exactly
you
the
have
same.
the inner monologue, at least,
Right.
of the characters, too.
And I think the only thing that you can try to justify watching this is her body language. Like Abby said, she's not fighting him off. I'm not saying that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. Her words
No.
were absolutely saying absolutely no.
And that
But like her body language, I think is trying to portray that. I guess I'm not
her
buying
inner
it.
monologue
And I'm
of
not buying
Yeah.
it. And
right.
I think my biggest issue is because David and Dan wrote this episode. They even came out like that week because there was a lot of blowback during when this first aired. They're like, "How the hell do you do that? Like that wasn't rape. That was."
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
this was a
dude,
PR
you at least
botched.
own it. That hey, we did this. It appears this way, and unfortunately, we don't have the inner monologue to
Our intention was for you to be able to physically see her
be
like
accepting and all this.
yeah, like
but
yes.
that really wasn't there. And sorry, you dropped.
Well,
the
and it
ball
was
on
real
this.
short. Not that I want that to be extended, but how much can you do in a 20-second like
True.
time span?
I mean, at the very end of it,
I
if
don't
she
know.
was saying
That's all it
yes,
takes.
I think that changes
Yes.
the whole scene from
Yeah.
playful, or her kind of
Like the hard to get.
No, we
Kinda-
shouldn't. We shouldn't. We
Right.
shouldn't.
And
And
I
then
think just that one little like concession towards her
Yes.
accepting it and then going through with it at that point would have changed a lot of it. I'm not saying it's still
The
right,
perception,
but it
right.
it could have helped for this already pretty fucked up
Yeah.
relationship they have.
Yeah,
So
like
Yeah.
just an I missed you, or something along those lines. Yeah, but this scene right here,
I have the gods made me love such a hateful
hateful
bitch.
yeah,
And like,
Mhm.
look, I don't think Cersei can really do anything. Like, she can't blow the whistle or anything like that because that's gonna.
Who's she
open
gonna
up
tell?
another-
Her dad?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
At this
Dad.
point, hey, Dad,
Me and
my brother
bro.
raped me in front
Right.
of our dead son.
right.
That's not a conversation
just-
anyone wants to.
no. So
Probably
all
not.
right, moving on from there. Abby, did we get to your note? You have a little note earlier in the scene.
I just said I really liked that. My thought was I really liked that he let Tommen work through it. Like he didn't just give him that answer. Like none of them are wise. You need to be a wise king. That this is what I want from you. But he
Wisdom.
let
Yeah.
Tommen come to that conclusion on his own.
Yeah. Now, do you remember
And-
the 3 before? I did mention one.
I know there was a strong king, and that was Robert.
Yep.
And there was a wise king,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a just king.
No.
There was a starving king.
Well, no. There
Oh,
was
a
a
starving-
holy king. It was
Oh, a holy king.
Oh, they talked about
Okay.
Baylor.
Baylor?
Yeah. Baylor the
Baylor.
Blood.
They talked about Ares too, the starving
Mhm.
king, because he starved himself to death.
Yes.
Those were the 3 that they talked about.
No, Baylor starved himself because food was of this world, and this world
that's
is.
true. They did talk about Ares for a second, though. I
Nope.
thought.
No Ares. It was
Yeah.
Ores.
Robert.
It was Balon, Ores.
Who I don't think Ares is a real
No,
Or is the
it's
first
not.
Targaryen king, which is
Okay.
weird because like in like the good king Jaehaerys,
Yeah.
just use that name. Like just it's there.
Yeah. But it was Balon the Blessed, Ores the First, and Robert the First. Robert Baratheon.
Big Bobby B.
And then, because the whole points were Balon, he starved himself to death because food was of this world and this world was unholy. Ores was killed by his brother in his sleep only a month and a half after, or a year and a half after he took the throne, and Robert hoard hunted and drunk himself through his kingdom, and the last 2 is what killed him. And Tywin calls that out to Tommen,
His dad.
Yeah.
With his dead brother sitting there.
Yeah.
And his
Exactly.
mother.
Your brother
Yes.
was a shitty king. Your brother
Yeah,
was not
your
a
brother
good
was
king.
not a wise king. Your brother.
You guys, like, I feel like there's so much Tywin hate here. I just see this scene,
Oh,
and
no,
I know
no,
it's
no,
because.
no.
I love Tywin
Oh,
here.
yeah,
That's
this is-
exactly what my note really is.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So
Yeah, no. I'm not hating
but
on it.
just,
I'm
like,
just. It's
this is weird
it's
in this
impressive.
place or whatever.
yeah,
like,
it's impressive what he does, especially
Okay.
with him standing right next to Cersei and calling calling Joffrey a
Yeah.
shit king.
I also like
go
that
ahead,
he
sorry.
says, a wise king knows what he knows and what he doesn't. That is probably my favorite line of at least this scene, because it's true, and you can bring it into your own life. if you can just admit, like, I need help, and you look for advisors who are skilled, and you surround yourself with those skilled advisors, you become great yourself.
Yeah.
So I just thought, wow, like, what a great entrance. I think I might like King Tommen. We'll have to see, but I think I might like him.
He's at least malleable and is listening, you know. And I mean that in a good way, a productive way. He's curious and he wants to do a good job, and he's not oppressive by nature.
Yeah, and again,
coachable.
That's another tactful
coachable.
thing that Tywin does. Getting that in early, it's kind of like for us, or we have a customer or something, and you're like, and you're a brand new customer to us. This is how we want you to handle us, and how we want to do your service for you. So this is the way we're going to do it, instead of letting them kind of figure it out along the way.
I feel like working women in certain industries have that same thing. You know, they want you to work with them, and they have to coach you along a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, if you
Coachable.
want, if you
The
want them
best
to,
athlete.
Coachable.
yes,
That's
but
one of my stick.
But you have to set it in
Coachable.
early, like early in the discussion. You have to make sure to get that pushed in properly.
Yep. Tywin is pushed in.
Yep.
You gotta push it in.
Anyway, speaking about Tywin, my only real note on this was Dan's class is in session.
Yes.
You know,
It's Dan's class.
It's
now.
Dan's class. It's dance time.
I have the floor.
And then I referenced a good king, a wise king knows what he knows and knows what he doesn't. It's just a great line, and I completely agree with what Abby was getting at. Of, if you surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, it's going to raise you up. I mean, you're kind of the accumulation of the closest people around you. So like, hopefully,
and especially until
thank you guys for raising me up a bit.
They
A little bit
listen
rub
to
off
me
on
up.
some of the knowledge.
Was that Josh Groban?
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a
Groban likes
Josh
his ladies
Groban.
pop.
So
Everybody.
The other quick thing I thought of when we were going through this scene was, so they talk about Orys as a king who isn't a Targaryen king. This came out mid-early 2014. The World Book, A World of Ice and Fire, came out in October of 2014. So I'm going to be a little bit easier on them for this season on making up things from history, because they didn't have that text, that companion text at least, where it really opens a lot of it up. So
just kind of guessed or
after this, go time though. They better do their fucking research.
Do your due diligence.
Do your duty.
Yeah.
Go on. Do your duty.
My last thing with it, kind of going along, the wise king, listens and heeds to his counsel, especially until he comes of age, and then after, makes sure to point out, even though your brother just came of age, he still wasn't wise. So, all right, we're gonna move on. Still in King's Landing. There was a lot of King's Landing this episode. Illyria, Oberyn, some whores, and Tywin. Oberyn discusses preferences and pleasures. Tywin talks of judgments and justice. We'll start with Luke.
So Oberyn here is clearly playing both sides of the sexual fence. And he kind of describes like why he's that way. And he says, when it comes to war, I fight for Dorne. When it comes to love, I don't choose sides. And it's just nice to see a character that's, this progressive and open, kind of displaying how Dorne is with equal opportunity on everything, gender rights, all of that. They're very, very forward thinking, and he takes it that further step of I just love people, I love beauty,
and that's the same discussion where he's like, why would I limit myself to only half of the pleasures?
Yeah,
I see this and it excites me.
Yeah,
I want to say,
it excites me.
It grabs his
I want to say this is the third episode. So we're episode 3, maybe minute 10 at this point.
You want to say that, or you're gonna say that?
I'm gonna say about 10 minutes into the episode ish. Right, I've seen this guy probably on screen. 23 minutes total.
Oh,
though, like ever.
That's that's a bit over.
It's probably a little high.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
That's,
Tops 23 minutes. This dude, to me, he is fierce. He's somebody that he commands like respect, strength. You can see in some scenes coming up, like Tywin, his manner towards him, and yet he's a bisexual. I just love that in modern TV, this man of power and strength is represented as such a badass without like some.
They don't feminize him as
no,
being
not at
bisexual.
all.
Yeah.
like he's not
even,
at all that
Renly or,
like
Right.
that
And
stereotypical
Renly
or
and Loris, they've done that a bit.
which
They soften him up to
Yeah.
kind of
is such
show
a
that.
disservice, I think, to that whole community. I can't,
The LGBTQIA plus community, that is.
ABC.
Is that the correct?
That
That is
is.
Man,
the
that was
accepted
impressive.
accepted vernacular currently.
I just-
the plus is for other communities that fall under that haven't been established yet.
That's
Stuff that
fine.
they
I just like
mean.
that there's some representation where they're not this like.
Representation to be Dave later.
It's like saying etc.
It is, though,
cetera,
but
et cetera.
it's trying to be open to future
that we
things
can't really
that.
think of.
Yeah,
or
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I like
look
it.
up right now.
Sorry, that's my only note.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, that's fair. Glenn, I'll let you go with yours because I'm gonna ask this. Ask you a question on it. So
Okay, yeah. I found it interesting. In the scene, we learned that Oberyn studied poisons at the Citadel, and kind of Tywin calls him out on that. Like, my grandson just died by a poison. You studied poisons.
You just got here.
Let's connect the dots.
Happened to
Everyone
be
knows
here.
that you don't like our family. Like,
Right.
yeah, and even Oberyn's like calls him out saying yeah, he died by poison. And they're
Yeah,
he wasn't choking.
you
Yeah.
studied poison. This is how I know.
This is how I know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Otherwise, I had second Macumba reference.
Yeah.
And now I've heard that again in other forums and stuff, and I have no idea.
Okay, Abby, do you recognize Macumber? Well, they didn't say the name, but do you recognize? We've talked
Who?
about it.
Actually, yeah. They said the
The blue eye of a giant
yeah, in the sky.
Oh, so like that's what some people think that
that we
the
all
sky
live
is
in
blue because yes.
So that is the giant's name is Macumber
Okay.
or
Macumber.
Macumba. I can't.
It's
Okay.
It's Macumber, but I think
Macumber, yeah.
The Britishisms of Roy de
was it
Treese.
like in season 1 or 2?
Old
Rob talks.
Rob talks about it.
Old Nan's
The way he
stories.
says it sounded like
Macumba.
Macumba.
But okay.
Oh, yeah,
but now
Macumba.
that's the thing. Macumber's never mentioned in the show.
Well, yeah, with the Rob scene, Rob
I don't-
talking to Bran.
The name Macumber.
He does.
He does.
He says
Yeah,
it.
he
Okay.
says
Again,
it.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm going off a note that I found
Oberyn
in.
doesn't.
Oberyn doesn't.
Okay.
Rob does.
Rob does. Okay, that's fair. Because I'm going off a note that I found on Reddit and everything. I was like, and then I saw Glenn's note. I'm like, son of a bitch.
It's like the first scene that Rob goes to see Bran after Kat leaves.
Yeah.
no,
basi-
and that's fair. I just
basically
don't
old
re-
Nan used to tell him stories.
Yeah.
About that.
She's in there knitting, and he's in bed, and
Gotcha.
Rob
And
kicks her out. Yep.
By book or show, Macumber doesn't sound familiar to me. That's an overgloss one that always hits.
It's
Right.
Glenn's favorite character, so
That's fair.
They're gonna do a prequel. I think
a
about it.
Macumber show.
They better. Lastly, this kind of confirms the fact that Stannis is not on their radar because I think Tywin points out that, like, hey, we got a couple different threats. I think he mentions the Greyjoy rebellion, Dany, and then
was
the
kind of it.
wildlings.
Yeah.
Are marching south. So Stannis is not mentioned at all. So I think they believe that he was beaten at the Battle of the Blackwater, and he's
Just no longer a threat.
not a threat right now.
And my note on this was this was an interesting scene. You can tell Oberyn doesn't want to trust Tywin, but he's intrigued at the lengths and the concessions that Tywin's offering up. I'm gonna give you a seat in the council. I'm gonna let you judge my son. I'm gonna let you talk to the mountain and figure this out. And
I
so
think he's going to let him do more than that. I
Well-
think he's pretty clear that I'm going to let you have your vengeance on him.
he said, "I'll let you have that conversation."
Well, that was
and
in-
that's what I'm saying is
That was
you
in
know,
response that because he said, "Well, Marjorie, you said the same things about the Tyrells or whatever that now they're your strongest ally. Well, you gave her the seat of the queen or whatever. Like, it's not enticing for me."
Yeah, but he's making
Enough,
it pretty
like,
enticing
kinda-
to keep him in check, and I think this is a newly figured out plan on Tywin's part, especially with Joffrey out the way. He knew he could probably bring in the Dornishmen to sit on the council, and this way he keeps the Viper in check. Compared to because now if Doran, his brother,
Prince
the
Doran.
Prince Doran, had been the one that came, I don't think this would have been offered up entirely as quickly or as depthly.
He has to appease the more aggressive side of this, for
Exactly. But it's going to be an interesting series to watch, like with these two.
Yeah, I liked that Tywin did go through and kind of make some concessions and kind of try to get him on his side. And even Oberyn's like questioning, like, well, why would you want me to be, this close and everything? But, he goes on, well, Dany, there's a Targaryen girl has 3 dragons.
Yeah, and you see Oberyn perk up at that.
Yeah, and he basically said,
need us.
The Targaryens never conquered Dorne using dragons. Like, that's a pretty big ally to have in this case if that were to, come to fruition. But I feel like Oberyn's actually kind of actually impressed by Tywin here a bit, and one on the concessions he's making, and also like the candid approach. Like he's kind of leveling. He's just laying it on the table. It's like, well, it seems like Tywin is genuine here and isn't like just blowing smoke just to try to get him on his good side, right? And I think Oberyn was not expecting that.
Yeah, not expecting it, and kind of caught him off guard.
Exactly. Yeah.
So last scene in King's Landing, unless anybody has anything else on Tywin, Oberyn, and the whores.
And Macumber.
And Macumber. Always remember.
So we're going with
forget.
Tyrion and Pod in the dungeons. News of the trial, judges and his witnesses, and conspiracies get brought to Tyrion's attention. Glenn, I'll let you go with this one.
Oh, I can call my own witnesses. How generous of them. But, and then, so then he's, kind of going through his, list of friends, I guess, and Pod just, shuts all of that down. Basically, at every pass, each one, well, they can't do this. They can't do it because of A, B, or C. Yeah. It's just beginning to look like Tyrion's just kind of shit out of luck, for at least witnesses for this trial to be able to, someone to back him or whatever.
Yeah, I like the line. I'd like to think if I arranged a royal assassination, I'd plan it in a way that I wouldn't be standing there gawking like a fucking fool. Which is a good point.
Right. Make it obvious that look like I did it.
Yeah, I'm standing there literally holding the cup. Yeah, probably not the smartest thing.
Yeah, as he's pointing at me.
One note difference from here to book-wise I'll call out. Did Tyrion dump out the cup in the show?
Yeah.
At the wedding?
Yeah, he picks it up and he
Does
dumps
it
it out.
He's kind of inspecting it a little bit.
I remember him inspecting. I remember him pouring it out. That's what I'm saying. Because I remember that was a big deal in the book-wise was he poured it out. I couldn't remember in the show if he had done that. So if you say yes,
I believe he did.
I don't know. I'm going to stick with I don't know. But that's fair.
I
Luke, go ahead with your note if you're ready.
Oh, what did I say here?
What did
Flip
you
back
say?
to it. So, Pod, this is farewell. This is farewell. And there's never been there's never lived a more loyal squire.
And fuck if that's not the most emotional goodbye.
Pretty touching. And, because Pod's, he hasn't learned a lot about being a knight from Tyrion, but he's learned a lot from Tyrion.
Yeah.
And it may seem like silly court stuff, but at the same time, he's picked it up, and he's potentially, a skilled fighter. We don't know. I mean, he looks like he could, be trained in that at least.
He can keep himself alive.
And we know he's, fairly witty. He's got some sharp, cleverness that Tyrion hones pretty well.
He's coachable.
He's, as Abby would say, he's very coachable. That seems
That's
to be
the very
exactly what I'm getting at.
Well, I love
thing
how
to be.
He smuggled in fucking hard cheese, and he's like,
Candles.
they found the wine, but I got some candles and some hard cheese and some sausages. Again, from the back pockets, suspiciously like the middle of the back of the pants. Just, I don't know if you want that hard cheese there. Ab, you got a note on this scene?
Sure. Why is all the wine gone?
Why is the wine always gone?
God.
Damn wines.
Oh,
Honestly,
boy.
right now, so Luke has allowed me to start reading the first book.
Yeah.
And I am working through something right here, and I'm really not listening to any of you. I have a killer prediction number 4. That's all. Continue.
That's fair. We will
It's
move away from
completely,
King's
absolutely
Landing.
true, and you will be mind blown, or it's so wrong you'll just laugh at me. But keep that to yourselves for now.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So live chat, don't spill any beans.
No beans
Moral of the
to be
story,
spilled.
she's not listening to us at all.
Yeah.
Great for live stream.
So we're going to near fair market. That was going to be a question. I'm like, yeah, I'm just putting it in there. The Hound, Arya, a farmer, and daughter. The duo come across a kindly man, share his soup and bread, and leave him with a parting gift. Ab?
Well, this here again, I've already touched on it with the Sansa thing. About how those two scenes seem similar to me. Other than that, Arya with the quit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Way to go, girl. I mean, she's a smart little cookie. She does not. Oh yeah, oh yeah. She doesn't fail to impress. That's all. Like every time I see her, I'm just impressed.
Yeah. Glenn?
This land is your land. This land is my land.
Now in the round.
No, that's basically in reference to the farmer coming up and, what are you guys doing? Like, this is my land. And Hound's like, I'm standing on it. This is my land. Yeah, it's just...
Glenn, I got a country song for you. Ready for it?
Sure.
The only land I own is sticking to my boots.
Sticking to my boots.
There you go.
There we go.
I thought you would appreciate that.
Yeah, I
you
do.
country lover over there.
Mr. Up Down.
Mr. Up.
Yeah, Mr. Up Down
If
himself.
they pass
Glenn
that
of House
fifth of
Up
Jack
Down.
around, it's going up, down, up, down,
Up, down.
down.
We're doing up downs.
Yeah, and then like the whole scene with it just
To
reminds
the mother,
me.
please.
Right.
To the father.
Do they have to do all 7 of the fuckers? Like it just reminds me of saying grace. And it's just like somebody that took like forever to say the grace, and you just like wanted to eat, and like it's like okay, let's go, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
My kids think it's Father, Son,
please don't kill
Holy
us in our sleep.
Experiment.
Thanks.
It
Sorry.
reminds me of a Super Ego podcast skit that they did where they're going around saying grace, and there's like a whole family and this guy's buddy's there, and it's worth listening to. It's like their last episode they ever produced, and like the one kid, like he's like, I showed up hungry because I thought we were gonna be eating dinner like right away, and he's like, well, if you keep interrupting, we're gonna have to start grace over. So
my kids think it's like this. Ready for it? Father, Son, Holy Experiment. Amen. Which is absolutely funny because of the science, religion, whatever. But hey,
The
good
Holy
job, guys.
Experiment.
The Holy
Spectacles,
Experiment.
testicles, wallet, and watch.
there you go.
Yes. So.
All right.
I
Luke.
did like, I'm sorry,
No, go
I
ahead,
did
Deb.
like that in that scene, just what we were talking about right there, where they went through each one, like
Mhm.
what they pray to them for.
Yep.
It made me feel a little more in depth
Because
with.
I guess they haven't really explained.
Never. I've
show-wise,
only heard it
So
at like the weddings.
the 7 talking.
The 7.
Talking
Yeah.
about the 7.
Yeah.
I do remember. There's a scene bookwise that before this that is explained with Sam and Gilly. Sam explains to Gilly while they're north of the wall in the bookwise. But yeah, show-wise, I think you're right. This is the first time
and
that.
Sansa talks about him every once in a while in her monologues and things like that because she's learning about him with all of
I
her.
just like we pray to the
business.
maiden to like keep your purity or whatever. We pray to the smith or whatever he's
To keep our
I think
hands
that-
strong.
keep our hands strong. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, the father to give
Warrior,
us,
protect us. Father, save us.
yeah, mother.
Yeah, I just-
Crone.
Crone is
Wisdom.
yeah.
and a stranger not to kill us in our
Yes.
sleep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
died.
Uh,
Sorry, that's the
Guess
one I really
right.
remembered.
Guess right don't mean much anymore. Yeah, that's pretty true. Seeing how we go through this scene, and
Yeah.
they'll both be dead come winter, and dead men don't need silver.
You're the worst shit in the 7 kingdoms. There's plenty worse than me, and I understand the way things are. How many Starks they got to behead before you figure that fucking out?
Figure it out.
And it's like, damn, Sander, I thought you were the one who got burned. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
That-
sees
that
it
was-
so
Yeah, I mean,
clear cut.
he does. It's the way it is. It's
To
there's
him,
no
there
there's
is
no
no
right.
gray.
Yeah,
There-
there's no
it's
right or
just-
wrong. Well, no, it's all gray. There's no right or wrong. It's survive.
Well,
it's-
and I also
guess-
think he
That has
thinks
to do
no
with
matter
cruelty.
what,
Well, no,
I
but
think is
He
what I
doesn't
was saying.
kill
Like,
the
he's
Red
not.
Wedding.
To him, it's all justifiable,
yeah.
aside from cruelty.
it's like
Is kinda where-
justified.
And I guess we're
I was
kind of
justified.
saying the same thing. It's there's no if he had to kill those guys last episode with Arya or with the chickens, that was justified. Doesn't care. He just, knocked this guy out, took his money, but it's what he has to do to survive.
I thought you said you weren't a thief.
But
I wasn't.
I wasn't. He just made it too easy.
Yeah.
I also think
We're
he
weak.
feels very much like this dude. He's already told me if somebody comes by here and wants to, steal my money, take my lands, whatever, they're going to because I'm not strong and I need you. So if I stay, sure, I can help him and that won't happen, but I'm not staying. So somebody's going to come by here
Might as
and
well
take
be me.
take his money.
I'm fine.
Anyways,
Yeah.
might as well be me over the other guy who might be a real threat. So,
Fuck right.
I'm not a bro.
which is not, I'm not going to condone the way of thinking, but he's not wrong, I guess.
It's on the
He's,
border. It's like
that's
can
where
see
your
how he
morals
justifies-
lie.
It's a dick move.
he's crossing the border of.
But if you,
It's
yeah,
wrong.
Yeah.
it is wrong. If
It's-
you
it's
justify
wrong.
everything like that,
Well,
I
the guy
mean,
had to
somebody's
die.
gonna, yeah, somebody's gonna eat this apple, so it might as well be me. But you just stole it. But somebody's gonna eat it anyway, so I might as well eat it.
If you
It's
try
wrong.
to justify everything, then there are no
Yes.
wrongs. I mean, it's
Exactly.
so. I can see how he's justifying it to himself. Like I get
Yeah.
that it's not right.
Exactly.
And
I
that's
like
where
that.
Arya's like, that's fucked up, bro. Like that's not right.
I-
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Like
And then-
that even after all her torture, she still is there. She's still, this isn't cool.
Yeah. Because, again, there's the easy way, the moral way, and the right way. I mean, sometimes you have to give up some morals to get things done, but you don't have to go the easy route and be a dick and screw other people over, if that makes sense in
Right.
that terms. And she's in that, she's not, her morals aren't quite all there anymore, but she's still,
She's questioning a lot of things, but the core stuff
yeah,
is there.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right.
And then we see, as Ara's waking up, there's the scream from the farmer's daughter, and we at this point we know that a punch had landed.
That was so funny. In the subtitles, it just says like men arguing indiscriminately,
Yeah.
and then it just says in parentheses, punch lands.
Punch landed.
Nice. See, I that's the problem. I lost my subscription. I can't do subtitles anymore.
It's so funny. Punch lands.
And it's a lot of
I
stuff
always-
like that.
Yeah.
I always like the musical, like upbeat music.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
my favorite. Like lively music.
But like now
Haunting music.
Now the one is they do say Reigns of Casimir playing. Like they
Yeah.
make
Yes.
it known.
At this point,
Yeah, at this point. they
No,
make
I
it-
think
It's-
when Sansa was leaving, with Dantos earlier in the episode, it said bells tolling.
bells
Yeah.
tolling. Yeah.
Uh,
Show that the king has died.
Metallica is.
For whom the bell tolls.
all right. Speaking of Metallica, we're moving up to Castle Black.
Speaking of Metallica,
We're moving up to Castle Black / Molestown. This one I kind of split up weirdly because of area, and we did one then the other. So, yeah, we're doing Castle Black, Molestown with Sam, Gilly, and LS, Little Sam.
okay.
Ellis.
Add it to the list. We did a
Ellis.
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 Ellis. Yep, I'm making
Like
that change.
the island.
We're. Yep, it's not letting me do.
Just leave
I
it.
know.
And always write LS. I don't like that.
Ellis.
We can say Ellis.
I know.
Anyway.
All right.
Fuck is Ellis?
All right, I get through this because it's kind of a funny one. They pluck some dead ducks, and Sam's concerned about Gilly getting some unwanted fucks.
Okay.
Tried to get some Dr. Seuss in there. So,
It was Susical.
I'm gonna start with mine. I worry about you, Bevy. I mean, Gilly. Give me a little Marsh there, Sam. I mean, his wasn't as much, and again, shout out to our other podcast, but it was very much I worry.
That's the podcast that flows down here, Stephen King's It.
Yes.
For anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, but he said it in a caring way. It wasn't a creepy. He's like, I worry about you. It's you. You're surrounded by these assholes, and I know these assholes because they're my brothers.
That's not all they think about. That's all they
That's
think
all
about.
they think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ab, what was your thoughts on this?
I thought it was nice. I don't know. This whole situation is a little, it's new to me. I'm new here. So I don't think he's wrong worrying about her. That's
I'm
my
new.
favorite. I'm new here. I don't know. So he just,
I have a.
it didn't come off creepy at all. I feel like at some point maybe this was creepy. I don't really know.
It's
But
worse.
his concern is valid.
Yes. No.
He's in
and-
a castle of lots of men, some rapers, people questionable morals, but
Rapers and murderers and thieves. Oh my.
yes. But I don't know. It's nice. I like when Gilly looks at him and says, "Thank you." For what?
Yeah.
Worrying about me.
No, I do kind of like the. Do you think of me that way?
Yeah,
You
she
know?
wants it,
She
dude.
calls
That girl
him-
wants the D. Come on.
She wants that pink mask.
She wants that hot beef injection.
Come on, boys.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That takes me to
The
my note.
HBIC. Come on.
It really doesn't, but it
Yeah,
somewhat
go ahead.
applies.
Yeah, no,
so there's a line: 100 men, 1 woman. That sounds like an awful porn.
Just
Yeah.
talk to Houston.
That sounds
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Man.
I was thinking the Houston 500. From late 90s Howard Stern guest,
These-
Houston porn star literally
Gotcha.
did a 500 man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Good for her.
I don't
All
think that's
I
what Gilly's
know-
looking for.
All I know is, again, we have references. I have no idea what we're talking about, but that's cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. So
Good for
How about
you.
your note?
Yeah, so 100 all these men lying awake at night picturing Gilly. Sounds like an awful porn.
yours sounds even worse. Like the narrative of that, like 100 guys just lying awake. Like you're just watching these guys dreaming about it. Like
and doing whatever they're doing.
if you want to watch that one, I'm not.
It kind of sounds like a Cops episode that I just watched a little bit. Actually, it wasn't Cops. It was Live PD.
Live
Don't
PD.
lie to you.
Yeah, Live PD. That's the new Cops.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
that
the
one's so much
shit.
better. Because it's live.
Well, and then Cops. It just seemed like it was just so scripted almost, where they're gonna
almost
only
like
show-
setting up a yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to.
Is
Don't
this on
ruin
Live
my
PD?
dream.
Is this on Live PD? I fucking hope so.
Luke,
Snake
for those
Eyes.
listening, Luke just mimed. Him's handcuffed and walked away.
For the podcast listeners at home,
John Q podcast
John
listener.
Q podcast listener.
So, all right, we're sticking with Sam and Gilly. They're now down in Molestown with LS.
Holla.
Sam drops Gilly and the babe off a bit further south. I'll put my note out there. For Sam's sake, I really wish he could understand his position. He's not wrong.
You wish that she could
she can understand his position. I get where her mentality comes from is, oh, you're bored with me. You don't want me around, all this. And so she doesn't get or understand because she thinks, oh, Sam can protect me up here, up, and I can stay with him and all that. It's like, no, he can't, so he's really trying his best.
Yeah, to him, this is like the most reasonable
Yeah.
option for sure.
So
Right.
next, leave it open. Glenn?
Sure. Yeah, it just looks like a very rough brothel. Like you see, like some of the brothels in King's Landing, like everybody's nice and clean.
Microfingers establishments.
Right.
They don't have meth teeth.
Oh,
Yeah,
she was
like,
rough. That one
She
talking to
just-
Gilly. Yeah.
Like everyone just looks like beaten up and like their teeth are rotting and but I'm sure for a man of the night's watch that comes, they probably look like 9s or 10s.
It's better than Bill, the next room over.
Yeah. I mean, it's, in fairness, kind of the military aspect or when there's a ton of guys around for that's, all that, and you have that one woman. It doesn't matter how ugly that one woman is. If she's all you've seen for 6 months, okay.
She's bumping a few points.
She's-
It's the Rala effect.
Yeah.
The Rala effect.
Don't smile.
She's a Rala
Please.
8.
Oh my lord, that's terrible. I'm glad we went with Rala there than military wise, but that's perfect.
I
That's
wouldn't,
funny.
I wouldn't say military wives, just,
No, I didn't say wives. Those
I
are
know.
called dependas, which means people who are dependents. But if you want to really piss us off, well, really not me, because I would just laugh if you called me this. They call them dependopotamuses, which makes me giggle really hard.
I like the dependa. It
That's-
makes me think like a panda bear.
Pandas.
Yeah, that's what a
Them
dependa.
pandas.
They'd be like, "You stupid dependa." I'm like,
Dependopotamus.
Sure.
Stupendous.
"That's dependopotamus." Isn't that awful?
all right. Have you got a note on this scene?
Yeah, I do. You ready for it? Buckle up. You guys are assholes for every Molestown comment you've ever made about me.
Can we narrow down real quick? The only one who's ever made Molestown comments about Abby.
I made
And who was pissed off right away. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
drink.
Top left, asshole. Bottom right, my boy.
Boom.
Oh, I gotta go this way. Boom.
Go towards the camera. How about that? Just
Well, if we went this way,
Yeah.
see?
There you
Damn.
go.
What about me? Am I just neutral in this one?
Glenn.
Blah, 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 blah. I gotta go like, this is so weird because these cameras are so crazy. Up and to the side. I don't know. Sorry.
We're working on it.
Anyways,
we're gonna be the
yeah.
Brady Bunch soon. We're gonna be able to do
This
this.
is like
But
the
no.
game I play, the app I
Well, no,
play
'cause
that
Ed,
I.
you said, because you had said, I want to be from like the wall. Like, I want to be from up near
Yes.
the wall. And I go, oh, so from Molestown.
Yes.
I just left
Well,
it
I
at that.
didn't know. I hadn't drank that much yet. It's bullshit.
Yeah. No, I
You
was
gotta-
like, are you fucking kidding me with
You
that?
gotta stop brushing your teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, way
No, I
too many
can't do
teeth.
that. Anyways, so the
No, all
wall,
the teeth were there. It was like
um,
green.
it was a little rough. That's all we'll go with there. I mean, it was rough.
I thought it was interesting that the brothel runner, whoever Sam was talking to, is like, I could put her to work, you know, and
Yeah.
give you some of the cut, basically. And he was like, no, how about just room and board? Like, let's
Yeah.
just go with it. He's
Leave
like,
it at that.
she'll do well. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
obviously.
It's sad. The wildling has better hygiene than
Leave well
the
enough
the
alone.
free or
Well-
than the
Well, she's all these girls are working for the scum of the fucking earth. I mean,
Of the teeth.
literally convicted rapists. A lot.
Scum
of
on
them.
the
I mean, like
The
the
scum
word,
of the teeth.
the scum of the wall.
so you kind of wonder how many of them might
This
have
is
been
the
there.
worst people that from the who don't give a shit about their vows at the wall,
Well, yeah.
right?
But what I'm saying is, how many of these women come up here, like, say, you know, Pip, or maybe not Pip, but I'm just using him as an example, had a girlfriend down in the South,
I
and
got a girlfriend.
you know-
nice goose.
That's nice, Goose.
you know, and brought her up with him, you know, said, hey, why don't you come north? I'm getting sent up here. Meet me up here. And, you know, she makes it to Molestown, and hey, you can make some cash. We can, you know, work some stuff
some
out.
quiche.
Because I mean, like
I
I said,
don't
the work.
think most boyfriends like that arrangement.
But no,
ever.
but I'm
I
not.
don't think
okay,
a lot of girlfriends do.
But again, the worst scum of the. Or think about the worst scum of the earth. You got your pimps and your.
The
you know,
entrepreneurial scum of the earth.
yeah.
Right.
Fair.
You know, I mean, it's.
Fair.
I'm going to use because what woman in the right mind that didn't grow up in the fucking gift, you know, would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to move there.
I'm gonna move. Yeah,
You know,
it's
so-
like the opposite of Roz, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna lower my prospects.
Yeah.
Well,
I
she's
have
gonna
a
be a sole
question.
source.
Does the Night's Watch get some type of payment, or is it just like room and board
They
and
get life. That's it.
that?
Mhm.
Okay,
They
so
get- yeah.
how do the people like you said, Gren
Because-
or whoever?
Because the Night's Watch gives food and everything to the people in the gift. If you're living in the gift, you're getting food from the Night's Watch. So basically, you're living there for free.
So they're not going there. Like if a Night's Watchman shows up in Molestown brothel, he's not going to show up with coin.
I don't.
is
think
what I'm
so.
asking.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
But
it's-
he's
if
from the
anything, it's
Night's
more,
Watch.
More barter.
Yeah.
System.
Okay.
Like we'll
okay.
bring you
All
some.
It's like prison. I mean, think of it like prison. Like
Yeah.
you start trading smokes,
Here's-
right?
I
Here's a
will
loaf
trade
of
you a
bread.
smoke for a Twinkie. I got it. I've
It's-
watched 60 Days In.
Yeah, that or Shawshank Redemption.
Or,
how many packs?
Oh crap!
60 Days In.
Two smokes.
Oz. Thank
It's
you.
e-cigarettes
I was trying to think of the
now.
greatest prison
like,
show
Give me
of all
some
time.
juice.
Looks like you're a man that knows how to get things.
I've been known to find
What?
something from time to time.
Why do they call you Red?
Ask,
But that's because I'm half
Oh.
Irish.
No, because I'm Irish. Just because I'm Irish. And that was a line just for the movie.
That's how
I didn't know.
That's
your
how I
grandma
like
was
my
Irish.
men. Like, or that's how I like my coffee. Tall, strong, blonde, Irish.
All
for
right,
reference.
so we're done with Sam and Gilly.
We can take a Jojen train.
Jojen.
all aboard, Jojen.
Down to Dragon's.
Dragonstone.
Yep, we're at Dragonstone, and we have.
Still trying to jump on that train.
We have Stannis and Davos. News of Giant Baby Pussy's demise reaches Dragonstone, and Davos defends his release of the bastard. Luke.
I'm running out of time, which means you're running out of time. Yeah, I don't. This is a good Davos and Stannis scene, I think.
Yeah, yes.
Because Stannis is his back's against the wall. You know, we already know he doesn't have much, and Davos is doing a good job at what he can. There's just so little he can do, and Stannis knows it. And he's like, well, guess what? If it doesn't work out for me, it's not going to work out for you. So we have to come up with something new.
Exactly.
Something.
Glenn?
Right, and this is strike 2 in regards to them leeches.
Dem leech.
Dem leech. Yeah, basically the second one to go down as far as the leeches that were thrown into the fire. So it's kind of like another like chink in the armor for Davos of, hey, you really fucked that one up. Yeah. And then like Stannis, his legacy is hanging in the balance, like, and he mentions like, hey, I don't want to be a page in someone else's history book, like. And I think he realizes that everyone probably thinks that he's like done at this point. Like, he got his ass kicked at
Blackwater.
the Blackwater.
Yeah.
He's not going to rebound.
And that kind of goes to your note of earlier with Tywin and
Right,
Oberyn just
exactly.
kind of glossing right over him. He thinks, that he's done, or he believes they think he is.
Yeah, he's not on the radar.
Yeah, I like the line on it of "You're willing to use blood magic to win a kingdom and not pay for an army." That almost sounds
And not pay your men.
yeah. Tywin-esque with his line from season 3, episode 10. Is it nobler to kill 10,000 in battle than a dozen at dinner? It's very pragmatic. It's very, this is what you need to do. We're going. If you want to win the war, this is how we need to do it. You want to use blood magic, fine. That might work, that might not. Why don't we just pay these guys? And that brings me to another question. If your liege lord says, hey, you're coming to battle, dude, I gotta get paid. I mean, even when a draft comes, with the U.S. military back in the day, they still got some sort of compensation.
Well, where does power lie? That's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like he was almost disgusted whenever he said the Golden Company. He's like, they're sellswords. Like, are you kidding me?
And I get where he's coming from, because it's not honorable to sell your sword like that, as opposed to fighting for in his view, a just cause. Like he's owed this.
They've never broken a contract.
Good point.
Ab?
No idea. Sorry.
Still theorizing over there. I can see the wires going, connective tissue.
She's still on the Jojen train, I think.
She got locked on the Jojen train.
I didn't get aboard it, actually, is what happened.
We
I
left her
was like
back in
running
the
alongside, and you guys all jumped on,
This
and I
time we
tried to
did
jump
leave
for
her
your
at
arms.
Molestown, unfortunately.
Yep. Damn it.
Still survive.
Sorry.
All right, but no thoughts on the scene?
I don't even know what scene
We're on
I'm
Stannis and
not familiar.
Davos talking at the map room.
I like Davos. No thoughts. I'm sorry.
Okay, not a problem. We're sticking with Dragonstone with Davos and Shireen. They discuss the differences between pirating and smuggling, and Braavos and their bankers. If you're a famous smuggler, you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right.
Ab, thoughts on Davos and Shireen?
I did think that line you just said right there was absolutely hilarious because, yes, you do not want to be known. I also thought it was... I don't really know what we're writing at this point, I guess. But he wants her to write a letter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which... Okay.
Somebody smart has to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody
this,
smart.
This letter is too important for me. I need someone smart to write it.
Yeah.
Right. So-
Basically, what the letter... He's writing to the Bank of Bravos.
Iron Bank of
The
Bravos.
Iron Bank of Bravos.
In
Right.
Stannis' name. And
Yeah.
she calls
Right.
him out on it. And she's
Well, that's
like,
what-
that's not you. And he's
You're
like,
not...
this is pretty fucking important.
Yeah,
Like,
and in fairness,
Yes.
he speaks with the with the king's tongue. He's allowed to speak in his name because he's
Right.
the hand of the king.
He
so
has the right to do it.
he's supposed to offer that,
But we don't
from the
know
hand of the
what the letter is going to say. We should...
correct.
yeah,
Right, like, we don't know
their
what
problems
it's...
are.
yeah,
Right.
we can infer.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
We can surmise. I
Glenn.
think that's the right word.
It is. There are a lot of synonyms here.
Yes.
The first sword of Bravos. Thank you very much.
You're very much.
That was solid
Was it?
Davosian
Davos.
speech.
I'm very versed in Devosian.
I speak Devosian.
I think
Which is
Glenn
just
should
gibberish.
be like a voice.
Especially with the right
cartoon
hand.
voice.
You know,
All right,
because
Glenn's gonna go into voice acting now.
it's a little
He
tougher.
should.
All right,
should.
you found your
Should
calling.
just-
Abby finally figured out what you need to do with your life.
There we go.
Now you figure out what I need to do with mine. We'll call ourselves even. Boom.
Yeah, Luke.
Deal.
You know, it kind of goes right along with the discussion of piracy versus smuggle bunnies, and your father lacks a certain appreciation for the finer points of bad behavior.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good line that I think Shireen knows that.
Yeah.
Just very Devosian.
Very Devosian.
Quite Devosian.
All right. So if nobody got anything else, we're going to jump into a quick. What? No. Not quite.
Jojen to the promo.
Jojen to the promo.
Jojen promo.
Quick promo. For our thepodcast.com/support us. You can go there. You can hook up with our with our Amazon affiliate link. Basically, click on that. Buy anything you want, and you can give us it gives us a little kickback that helps us out with just keeping the beer in the fridge. But also, you can, when you're on the support us page, you can check out our Micro Fingers Flea Bottom Emporium, which has suggestions that we came up with of different Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire inspired artwork, bottles, whatever is on there. It's been a while since I checked
A lot of Funko Pops.
A lot of Funko Pops.
A lot of wall hanging art.
You click on click on those. We get an extra little bonus if you buy one of those. But if you come across any cool ideas too, send us an email with a link on it. We'll add that. And hey, awesome.
So come on down for a bowl of brown.
Exactly.
You might even make a friend. That is, if you're paying, of course.
All right. So we're gonna move up back to the gift. Egret, Tormund, Stir, and some villagers. Egret aerates a father, and Stir sends a message to the crows. My note, I'm going to start.
Aerates?
You put holes in it, it aerates it.
Yeah, I didn't read that earlier.
Technically correct.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready for that.
So, my note first is, fuck, that kid is going to have some issues.
Fuck that kid, or fuck,
Comma.
that kid is going to...
I'm leaving that
ambiguous.
The kid's going to have issues because of
fuck that
why.
kid is going to have some issues.
Fuck, comma. That kid's going to have some issues.
Yeah, but
Right.
yeah, exactly. So go ahead, Glenn.
This scene, because we're going to like a different, like a little town or village or whatever, and it just kind of reminded me of like the Shire.
Yeah.
Not in the sense that like there's hobbits and stuff like living in there, but it's just kind of like the green, I guess, and like the water flowing and stuff like that, and I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of that. And then all hell breaks loose. They're going to use Mama and Papa to make a nice stir fry.
I like that.
That's one of the more disturbing lines, right?
First, I'm going to eat your mama, then I'm going to eat your papa. So you know the way to the wall? Tell them we're coming. Run.
Yeah. That's...
And then you just see him running.
Are those your parents? I'm going to eat them.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Ab.
Well, I will say back to your comments. My husband
Comments.
did a paper. Did a paper lately, and then Luke proofread it apparently in his presence. And this is the description I got. Well, Luke came down and proofread my paper, and he added a whole shit ton of commas, and then I got 100%. So,
Just add commas.
Just add commas. Yes. Yep.
Because
So
when
that's
you're
all I'm
speaking,
saying.
natural speech is littered with commas.
Yep.
Yes.
Read
So
J.K.
yes,
Rowling.
commas.
Littered with commas.
Yeah. Especially what is it? Not imperial comma. Is it the Harvard comma?
Oxford comma.
Yeah.
For lists.
There you go.
Yes.
Anyways,
Long live, I believe.
one, I think so. Like the after show of this kind of goes into these scenes, or like the whatever it is. Take a look at the episode or whatever.
Inside,
And they talk
inside the episode.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
so
you
they
get to
talk
watch
about like,
those? Oh, I don't. We
I
don't have
do,
those.
I do, I
guess
do.
We could probably find them on the Blu-ray. but,
So-
Inside the episode.
it's on there.
Pretty sure we have. Yeah.
So afterwards, they're talking about like the Thens and how they are like the worst of the worst. Like we have the wildlings who are all like wild and scary kind of, but of the scariness, this is the worst of the worst. And even the other wildlings are kind of like, oh shit. It kind of reminds me of like the Berserk or like
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
just that like extra oomph.
Yeah, because you weren't here for episode 1, and episode 1's where Tormund's like,
Yes.
Thens. I fucking hate Thens.
Yeah, and
Yes.
in this scene, and we've seen this before, where these are raiders, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the
Yes.
wildlings are, and Tormund's a pretty ferocious fucking guy.
Yeah.
And
they
even
really
he's
do
like, these guys are just fucking
remind me
disgusting.
of almost the Vikings, like go in, raid, take. But this is that extra level that is beyond even their moral code.
The extra step of cooking arms and shit like
Yes.
that.
And over direct heat, god damn it.
I was
Offset.
almost
Offset.
No.
surprised to see Grit like fighting alongside them. That's where I was like, how? Yes, she's a wildling. Yes, she's tough as shit. And Tormund even too. Like, and I get that they have this common cause, but to sit there and watch that day to day, I would assume it has to be rough. Like, to just give away to your own moral code and be like, you know what, we're gonna let that go for now, and because we have this common goal. It just surprises me that we're watching them with this group.
Well, it's for the greater good for them, right? Even the
Yes.
worst of them are still fighting for the same reasons, and
Yes.
they can't say no to the numbers. That's where they're at. So
Sometimes it's those hard choices,
Yep.
hard truths.
And Mance has made that choice for them, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to move on up to Castle Black. The kid, unnamed villager kid, made his way there, and also with John, Thorn, Pip, Gren, Ed, and the Brothers of the Night's Watch, and Slint. Slint was there as well. The villager kid...
Janus Slit.
The villager kid gives the warning to the south. Ed and Gren return from Craster's, and John realizes they need to silence the betrayers. I'll go with Abby on this one.
There's a lot going on in this scene. There just was. And my biggest thoughts are with Ed and Gren coming back. I kind of forgot that John was off with the wildlings while Craster happened.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. Like, I just kind
No,
of
that's
forgot
fair.
that he wasn't there with them during all that. And to come back and say, like, look, our brothers did this to the commander-in-chief, right? Or not commander, right? Lord Commander.
Yep.
Mormont, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Old Bear.
Your.
I mean, where the hell do you go with this? And
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let me scroll down a little bit. You're at the bottom here on my screen. Okay, cool. I agree with John. He made a very, very good call on his final say or whatever when they asked him.
Gotcha. Like his impassioned speech
Yep.
kind of thing. Glenn, I think that kind of ties into what you have.
Yeah, but John just definitely had like an oh shit moment when he realizes that, there's those mutineers at Craster's Keep, and he told Mance that they have 1,000 men at Castle Black. Well, if they get to the mutineers, and
They'll sell 'em out.
Yeah, they'll sell them out.
Peeling their fingernails off.
Right. And he's like,
And this thing, they won't even need to do that. I think Mutineers be like, no, fuck it. There's 100 men there.
We'll fight with you. Fuck.
right.
Yeah.
And he says, like, Mance has everything he needs to defeat us. He just doesn't know it yet. Like, and it's just a different fight when you're thinking we're going up against 1,000. Now it's 100. That's like easy pickings,
Yeah. Slim pickings, if you will.
slim pickings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of going along with that, John's like, it's not just about justice here for those mutineers. It's way bigger than that because we're gonna be fucked. Like, we're fucked, right? We're gonna be fucked real quick.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Ed that says, "Girls never thought they'd miss their daddy." For
The
for Craster.
Yeah.
And then Pip was like, or John's talking about how even if each of us kills 100 men, we're still gonna have a tough time with that.
That's
And
10,000 of 100.
And Pip is like, I don't think I can kill 1,000 men.
Yeah.
100.
Or
Even
100
100
men.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. He was just like, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't
now my
have 100 in
I'm
me.
just not anymore, boys.
because I hadn't realized that Gren and Pip or Gren and Ed were still chained up because they're not focused on the show, and so I never really realized.
Right.
I knew because watching later on, I knew they survived, but I forgot about the scene. Well, I forgot about the scene. But how did they get out of the chains? That's the scene I want to see.
Breaker of chains.
You know, well, I mean, yeah, they're pretty cut up, but it's like,
Oh, put it on the list.
there we go. Boom.
Need to find that spot. You literally just broke the fourth wall.
But that's the scene I want to see is, like a flashback.
It's really weird.
If we had planned that, it would not have been that good.
No. So, all right. Anything else on Castle Black, the North, the Gift, Molestown, up that way?
It's nice to have the group all back together.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
The
Like
Molestown
it's
group, all the whores with
Molestown
the
kids.
Molestown kids.
Molestown kids with
bottle
their
kids.
pumped
Okay,
up.
so the group you're talking about, like
Arlstein.
Grin, Sam,
Pip, Sam,
John,
Ed. Kind
Ed.
of that whole recruit class is all
Yes.
back at the wall
Yeah.
now.
Class of
Class of 98.
Classes.
Class of 290. Well, you were close, 298 or 299.
No, it's like 300.
Is it past
301.
Oh, okay.
no,
Whatevs.
was with,
It was just like a random year I threw out.
Leonidas. This is Sparta.
Leonidas.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take the Jojen aircraft to Marine.
I have a question.
Yes, Ab.
We can't. It's just our thing on YouTube that says we will be by shortly. Please stand by for me. Why?
Did you just start the video over?
No, it's been like this the whole night.
Oh no.
Mine's up.
No, it's live.
I don't know. It just says it. That's
Chat,
I'll
let us
just
know if it's not working.
Can you see
I
me
mean-
wave?
Hold on. I just refreshed it and it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Now we're talking into my speakers.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Why
we're
mute
live.
that?
We are live now.
So you should probably never hit play. You still have the chat, but you might.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Who knows? Sorry.
So, all right, we're in Marine. We have Danny and crew. And there's a reason why I listed it this way. The group arrives at the gates of Marine and are met by a single rider, Dari 2.0, stands in her honor and dispatches him quickly. So I had to put it that way because I wanted to get the Dari 2.0.
I appreciate the Dari 2.0
Dari
as
2.0.
his name.
Yes, I'm gonna
Most interesting man in the world, Dari 2.0.
Dari 2.0. So we have Danny, Jorah, Barristan, Missandei, Dari 2.0, and am I missing anybody?
I wasn't listening to you.
Grey
so.
Worm.
Everybody
And Grey
else.
Worm.
And everybody else.
Yeah,
Grey
and everybody
Worm.
else. And the
Grey Worm.
Dothraki and Volantes and whoever else.
And guess who's not there? Strong
Strong
Belwas. We'll leave that there. That's a bug comment.
That's
but-
fine.
Q, strong
Yeah.
Bell
Q,
Boss.
Strong Belwas, as Glenn would say.
Not there.
You're
Yeah.
reading my note.
Glenn, yeah, go ahead with your note, Glenn.
You can read my note. I'll read yours.
Okay.
Oh, Glenn, you edited yours.
Yeah.
Damn it. But go
you know,
ahead.
Dario is the most expendable person here.
Right.
Glenn, take it away.
Yeah, he is the most expendable.
I literally wrote that, and then I saw he
or
had just
as
written
Narrow
that.
C would say, expandable.
Well,
That's what he had written too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
I hadn't seen
That's
that.
a Narrow C joke.
Yeah.
It's actually me that said that initially. Abby.
He's the most.
Was
he
it
can
really?
expand, and that's his big power.
Well, that's
is
why
he
Danny likes him.
expands. You don't
One
know,
way or the
you don't
other.
know if he's expandable or not.
Danny wants to find out how expandable he is
Yeah.
in certain areas.
I liked horses are fast, horses are dumb, and that's true. But it's an intelligent move on his part, but underhanded to go after a defenseless animal. The animal
No,
knows
he threw it overhand.
shit move to go after the horse. I mean, because again, I'm fine. Strong Belwas did the same thing.
Smart move.
Smart move.
No, it goes back to like Braun when he's like, you can fight dirty or whatever, and
Yeah.
you'll win.
Guess
or
what
whatever.
happens? It fucking works.
It
Yeah,
works.
and it does. It's it's one of those animal cruelty
You don't
things.
fight with
that-
honor. He did.
He did. He's dead. Yes.
Very
You
dead.
don't fight with
Yeah.
honor. No.
No, I didn't.
He did.
So, Ab, what's your note on the fight scene?
I have no note on the fight scene. Anyways, it was a great fight scene. It was absolutely epic, great, fantastic. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. Final
So,
scene.
no.
Oh,
Episode our episode 4.2, there was a comment about Dario 2.0, and I kind of politely laughed it off. I
'Cause
just
you
want to
didn't
put this
know.
out there for the fandom. I was like, oh, haha, sure, whatever,
Yeah,
cute.
I know what you're talking about. Fine.
Totally. Because I was drunk. And I still don't even know what I said because I was drunk. I don't remember. And I haven't listened through the episode completely yet.
It was
I'm just going to put it out there. I had absolutely no idea that this was
A completely different
like
actor.
the same character. Different actor. My mind, I finally figured it out. And I was like, hold on, wait. What?
Was that from
okay.
Sanrixian's artwork of showing the two
No.
different?
Well, driving somewhere in about the Kentucky mountains from St. Louis to North Carolina, I was listening to the episodes and I couldn't see her drawings, which then I was like, now I got to watch the YouTube video. I got to watch this shit again or listen to it again.
Definitely,
But-
if you are watching right now, go back and watch that
Yeah.
episode 1 of season 4 YouTube.
Her
video.
drawings, yeah, I'm
those
really
were
excited.
awesome.
Yeah.
Those were really cool.
So it was about 4 a.m. and I'm driving. All my passengers are sleeping. And I was like, what the fuck did they just say? Like, completely different actor. I was like, okay, things are making sense. I understand now. I thought this was just some random guy who was just acquired from some random slave state. I don't know.
This is the new Dario.
This is Dario.
This is
Not like
Dari
the.
2.0.
This is
This
Dario,
is Dario.
apparently.
Dari 2.0.
My mind was blown. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there as I'm sorry about my stupid girl giggling. Sure. Comment of last episode. I prefer Dario 0.1, 4.1, 2.1, whatever he was. No,
Dario 1.0.
1.0.
Dari
There you go.
1.0.
That's
Dario.
what I liked. Visually.
Dari screen.
You liked Legolas Dario.
Yes, I did. That hair.
And
Man,
this
get a
scene-
fistful of that, I'll ride you all night long, right? Some comment like that.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, this scene does, make it. He does it well. He has the swagger. But it's still a very humble. It's way more humbled attitude.
We'll see where it goes.
No, I'm saying that
Yeah.
actor wise, he plays it way more humbled. I was the last one in. I mean nothing to you.
He's the
Let
most
me.
expandable.
Yeah, I'm the most expandable.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't get the same feeling
from
from this guy
he wasn't
right
as
off.
cocky as
Well, speaking of cocky, he does. The one guy pisses,
yeah.
and then he pisses after he kills that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like a diss.
Another.
It was a
Or a
dismiss.
piss.
A dismiss.
Kind of wish there
Yeah.
was.
Let's be honest.
Not gonna lie, the book version would have been a little better. Strong Belwas, do you know what he does? Because he's
Hold
a
on.
eunuch.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't.
Oh, Abby's off. So Abby's off. So he's a eunuch. So he doesn't whip it out and piss. He pulls his shorts down and he takes a shit right on the rider. I would have loved to
Number 2.
seen if they could have done that.
Just laid a log.
Yeah, laid a log. All right.
Logarithm,
How's algorithm?
natty log.
All right. So we're going to the final scene, which is the same scene, but I cut it down. Final scene. We
cut it
have
that way.
Da-
You wrote it up that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny speaks to the slaves of Marine and sends them something from her summer BDSM collection.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to go with Glenn on this one.
Yeah, this is definitely like another example. This has happened like a couple times, and I don't know if we've like hit on it or not, but she's just like speaking to a big group in a big place, and she's not like ridiculously loud or anything like that, but it seems like everyone just like comprehends and can hear and stuff like that.
So
It's
the thing that you don't know
She's-
is, like at the United Nations, how like they're speaking like their native tongue, and everyone has an earpiece in that with a translated version of that. Everyone in Essos has that.
Oh,
So she's just
oh,
talking,
okay.
and they all have these headsets.
No, it's not
They're, like,
UN
in sync on
No,
stage.
it's not UN style. It's Star Trek style. The pendant she wears just automatically translates so people can understand.
Well, yeah, but they still have to have the earpiece too.
Not in Star Trek. They talk and she comes.
well, not in Star Trek, but in this, they have to
The
have an
projection
earpiece.
side of it, they're like a mile away.
Okay, fair
That's-
enough.
I'm
Okay.
saying-
I know.
I don't
I
know. They're-
agree.
They're far away. It's just like
But she's also in like a canyon, and so there's an echo.
even
there's
so, like
There's
I know.
no acoustics don't work that way.
I realize.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
That happens all the time where it's just like even with like like a lot of these men, like where it's like you're Jon Snow or whoever it is, like talking, and like even like Jimmy Ballgame in the back, fucking Rogue, is hearing every word of it. No, like get the fuck out of here. Or like we've had a lot more of these large military type scenes with Dany. Like those are the ones like with the Unsullied, where she's talking like, "I'm freeing you, you're free men now," and it's just like, what? Say what?
Speak louder.
Speak up.
It's
We
like there's
hear
no way
you.
anyone's hearing that.
Yeah.
The front line gets it.
Yeah, I mean that was my point. It's not a big deal.
But I'm with you. Yeah, it's like that happens all the times for
Right.
cinematic simplicity.
Right. Just
So yeah, like
So like the Masters, like when they really just stand there when these catapults are rolling up, like they don't know what's loaded into them, obviously, but like because they already know they shot their arrows
Yeah.
and they came 10 feet short. There's a fucking catapult.
Yeah.
There's like 9 of them. They're not gonna sit
catapult.
on the wall and just like hang out still until they shoot. No, they see those roll up. They're getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
me
Like,
another beer.
instantly.
but if they don't know what catapults are,
Oh, they know.
I'm just-
everyone around here is constantly under siege.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
that's
That's
what they
fair.
do. They're used
not-
to Dothraki. I agree,
it's
but
not
at
their
the same
first
time,
catapult.
they wouldn't build walls without these kind of fucking things being around.
Yeah.
It's just like you see that roll up.
Oh, yeah.
You're not gonna hang out and watch the fire show.
Yeah.
Let's watch this. Let's see where this goes.
What is this contraption?
I really liked that she shot the chains that all these other slaves
That had been
I thought,
broken.
what a great strategic move. Instead of coming in and killing you, like, look at like the fruits of my labor or whatever. And I loved the way she phrased, they were slaves here and now they stand behind me free. I do wish they, and I get that they were like logistically behind her besides me, because you don't ever want to be behind somebody. You want to
but they're
be
backing her.
not
Is
in-
kind of the
and they're
thing.
following.
Is how I
It's
can justify that. I
just
guess.
think that I'm not going to argue like the semantics of it, but yes, they are following her. Like she's a good leader, and I do think that as humans, we do need that. We need a common cause, and if you can find that in a person you agree upon, great. But if she would like, they stand beside me here as free men or free people. It just would have made a little bit. I don't know. Her speech was again really great, given through her voice, which is commanding. But I think it's commanding to the audience because we've seen this. I mean, this is like the 4th or 5th time.
She's had
right?
several of these. Yeah.
Yes. And I don't want to like take anything away from this, but it's kind of like, okay, like where do we go from here? You're freeing all these people. And that's fantastic in the world that she's in. Like that is a fantastic cause. And she's freeing like city after city after city after place after whatever. When do we turn our eyes? Like when does the game change or whatever?
Yep.
And do the people follow her? Like we just wanted to be free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
I mean, it's a good question.
You
Like,
wanna
what does
go
that turn into?
conquer
for those people?
Westeros.
Yeah.
yeah,
Why do we care? We're free.
Right.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
So
Good question.
my note on this was the facial reactions and everything of the Masters. They were pretty like pulled back and like just like, oh shit, when they realized what's actually happening. And it reminded me of the line from a different series. Have you any idea how much tyrants fear the people they oppress? All of them realize that one day, amongst their many victims, there is sure to be one who will rise up and strike back. You know, and that's the look they had. They're like, shit, our slaves just got empowered, and there's more of them than there are of us, or, you know, whatever. And it's kind of along the lines of, we're fucked. Even that one guy they focused, like, there was one guy looked kind of like, the fucking guitar player.
Lenny Kravitz.
Thank you. Yep, looked like Lenny Kravitz.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Lenny
Yeah, yeah,
Kravitz
yeah.
looking dude.
But
like,
he's got like a family with him, like and his wife.
yeah, but like his, you know, he was like kind of like listening to her, like okay. You can tell he was one of like the non-slaves, but he's like listening to her and like intently. But then when she starts what she's saying and then flings the stuff, he's just like, fuck, you know. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting, and I just, you know, I like how well they blocked the scene and just like directed the visuals on it to make you feel for, not feel for, but you felt how they were feeling as the masters. Or, you know.
I also think you feel like as the slaves too, like what side do you take? Like if we all band together, we totally overrun it. She's given us this power, but what if it doesn't work? Like that.
Yeah.
Oh
And-
gosh,
or,
it's
like,
like
what
such
if-
a hard.
What if 10% of us don't do it?
Yeah.
You know, like everyone
Right.
has to be in, all in. There's no.
Or what if
there's
I'm
no
that
half
one
doing
part
this.
of the 10% that doesn't give in, and that part like wins out? I'm sitting high later on. It's just, like, it's just so difficult.
Mm-hmm. That's
And you feel
conquering.
all of
Yes,
that.
it is.
That's
Like,
it.
you feel all of it.
Yep. So, all right, that ends our recap for the episode. We're going to move on to episode title accuracy. Titled, this episode was Breaker of Chains.
I thought it was Beaver of Chains.
Beaver? Oh, shoot.
All right. Breaker of Dams.
Alice in Chains.
Alice of Chains.
I mean, I guess this is a title that works because Danny broke some chains and so did Gren and Pip. So, or Gren and Ed.
Multiple chains being broken.
Yeah, and she's showing that off. You know, she's portraying herself as the liberator.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of her PR move right now. And it's makes a lot of sense. And Gren's showing that that's his PR move when he's showing like oh, look at my wrist. I broke the chains, man.
But I mean, it's kind of one of those again. It's kind of a common thing with this episode, with this season so far. At least with episode 1 and 3, where it's just one quick scene of, you know, like at least episode 2, Lion and the Rose. That was a half an hour of the episode, you know, focused on the Lion and the Rose kind of thing. This one, it was one scene, so it works. It fits, but
again, I'm gonna try to make some stretches here. But like Tyrion is in chains, he's in prison, so it's more than just. Just the reference to
The
chains
hypothetical
is
chain.
kind of what I'm going for, I guess. And,
and that's fair.
Hound and Arya, nothing.
No chains
Sam
there.
Gilly, no, not really.
Molestown is a chain, maybe.
Molestown is a chain, you know,
That's an extra
chain
cost.
drag. Yeah, no, I think that's about it. But we're in King. There's so many King's Landing scenes.
Yeah.
And there's so many titles that you can throw, like episode titles that you could throw at King's Landing. It
And
would
since
always
last-
be King's Landing if
and-
you're going to go with like
Yeah.
shot time.
And you're right, because last episode was the King's Landing one, so, you know.
And we don't spend a whole lot of time with Dany, but she is a pretty big part. Like what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
seeing is still like
and it's
huge
like, it's
and
the final
epic.
scene. It's the biggest step forward, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of. I think
'Cause
it's the largest move that happens. In
What
the
was
in this
episode 1? Let me pull this up really quick. I can't remember the title name. Sorry.
It was.
What the fuck is a Lami? Was our title.
Oh, it's all
What
hidden
the fuck
for
is
me.
The fuck is a lami?
Shit, we don't have the title up top.
Whoops.
That's all right. Two Swords.
Two
So
Swords.
it was a King's Landing,
And like, it was a short scene.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it a couple times, but
Well,
and
and
with
Arya,
Needle
yeah.
too. So
thing. But so, okay, fair. And so this is the first Danny one. This one's, this one actually, it fits. It just, I don't know. There was more that they could have worked with, but it works for the episode. So that's all I was saying. Just being such a short scene. So we're going to description accuracy. Tyrion ponders his options. Tywin extends an olive branch. Jon proposes a bold plan. The Hound teaches Arya the way things are.
The way things
It's actually kind of surprising they don't mention Danny in
at all.
the description. Yeah.
Well, she got the title.
she got the title.
She got the title, but I mean, still, you would think there might be something. A little
Danny's
blurb.
not in this
Wow.
episode at all. Even
While I was reading it, I was like, well, this is about as accurate as it has ever been.
I feel like all four of those essentially happen.
mean, They do. Like, it's just pretty much, don't even watch it. This is what happens.
right? Yeah, it wasn't worth watching. Just read the description. Yeah,
Just read it.
Read the 4-line
you
description.
know now.
Save yourself 58 minutes.
Read the tweet. You know, that's all you need.
Or I'm saying, yeah, hey, pulled that one on my ass. I said 58 minutes. It was 58 minutes.
There you go. I mean, you did read it earlier.
I did, but all right. So we're gonna go with our least favorite things of this episode. Glenn.
Yeah, basically, it's about Tyrion being Munson. Yeah, it just seems like he's up up the river without a paddle. He's got the world in his hands, and he's gonna blow it. He's being Munsoned at this point.
Yeah.
Like, being Munsoned.
What'd you say? He's getting Munsoned. It's like the guy who.
Kingpin reference.
Yes. Abby.
So it's getting harder and harder for me to pick a least favorite thing in this. I think there's an obvious thing that's not comfortable. So I just said no Braun.
He was mentioned though, right?
He was not allowed to see Tyrion because he could be conspirator.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. He's
Luke,
a good
did you come up
guy.
with something? Okay. Yeah. So I'll let you.
No, go for it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we had the same thing. It wasn't a rape scene or the rape scene in general, or whatever. It just the way it was done works for the show.
I feel like they can make it work on the show. It's the it really is knowing how fucking wrong it is for the story that we know.
Yeah.
And what it does to this potentially redemption arc that
Exactly.
Jamie's going through.
Jamie, like that whole thing. I started liking Jamie.
It kills his
right?
whole season 3.
It's like,
and-
oh, well, so he learned nothing, or like, and I guess like there is like
It's
that
a-
animal
it's a
instinct thing that,
relapse.
okay, finally, relapse. But
even before
narratively,
this,
it's
he never raped us. It was always consensual. It was never he forced her. And
I think we've got evidence that they've been rough before, and maybe a little bit of RP, which is fine. But the way this is shot and the reaction that we know that came from the writers of the show,
yeah, the very cocky.
it was just it was ill done.
Yes.
And it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I think.
Exactly. So, all right, we will go.
It's gotta be rape. It's fucking
It's
rape. I mean,
gotta
it's,
be- yeah, there's no other.
I'm right behind you.
I think that you
sounds like a
guys
song I
have. I think you guys have way more obvious knowledge of going on, what this brings, or background, whatever. But to me, just watching the show, I haven't read up to this point. I've just read about 3/4 of the first book. I don't know this occurs in the books, whatever. It was a rape. It was not wanted. It was not asked for. It was not, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, this was a good idea. It just was a really hard thing for me to watch, and that's what I would have picked had I not looked at possibly Benji's notes and Luke's notes. It kills me for Jamie because he was that guy that I was I've turned around on him,
Yeah.
and now he just raped his sister. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, you're my
So-
sister.
Keep your hands off my sister.
Except for not the Joe.
No
dirt.
one fucks my sister but me.
Yeah, that is not on my Jojo train, that's for sure.
I think of the Luke Skywalker, Jamie Lannister. Keep your hands off my sister. Both missing the right hand.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love you. I know.
I know.
All right, we're going to the favorite thing. We'll go in the same order. Glenn, what was your favorite
Yeah,
thing?
I just like the wall stuff at the wall. And I remember watching this the first time, and I didn't really care for the stuff at the wall for whatever reason. But this time around, I guess I don't know what it is. I just like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've always enjoyed the stuff at the wall, but for some reason, this time through, really getting into these characters, I'm caring about them more earlier
Right.
than I did. Just because you get to know them and you focus a little bit more. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Good call.
No, agreed. Ab?
I'm going to pick Tommen. I have so much hope for him as a king.
To men.
And it's really weird because he's that awful Lannister, right? He's the Reigns of Castamere, that enemy.
I mean,
But we already know
he's cousin Lannister.
Dem Ray.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's
Yes.
Well, he is his own
Dem
cousin.
Reigns.
He
Dem
is
Reigns.
he is his own cousin.
But is he his own grandpa?
Yeah. But, and in
Same
fairness,
joke.
we do know of one other good Lannister, or
Tyrion.
Tyrion, a slightly good.
Tyrion's a good Lannister.
So there's
And I
signs
think-
of good
And
Lannisters.
Tyrion even liked Tommen and Marcella. So, I feel like
Marcella's
we've
probably
already
a good
been set up.
Lannister, too.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
haven't
We
had
don't know
much-
her. We
yeah.
just don't know her.
Yeah. She's
been gone.
sweet. The 3 scenes in the
Since
entire.
she's been gone.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So, I just like the Tommen stuff. And not just the fact that we don't have Joffrey anymore,
yeah.
but Tywin's. I never saw this with Joffrey. So Tywin went in with Joffrey as fine. You will be briefed. Fine, you will be whatever. like, great, you are the king, you are right. To any man who says he is the king, like,
Yeah.
there's
I am
this
the king. I am
Yes,
the
there's
dragon.
this-
King Dragon.
I am the dragon king.
there's a willingness to teach Tommen because of his just aura, who he is, that really excites me. Even if Tommen's not the rightful king, even if all these things, maybe he can be a good king. And he says that, like, I want to be a good king. I want to be a wise king. And maybe at some point he gets rid of fucking Tywin. And I love Tywin, but he's self-serving.
That's
We'll
fair.
see.
And that is probably one of my more favorite scenes of this episode. I did go with one other different one because I saw your note. But with that, I like how Tommen was when Tywin was calling him out, saying what makes a good king, and Tommen right off holiness. You know, he's like, you have to be holy, we have to be just, you have to be strong. You know, and he's like answering truthfully how he's trying to be, and then he realizes you have to be wise. You know, you have to be smart, and so he's learning. He's coachable.
You have
know?
to be all of
seen
them.
it
Yeah,
on
he's
Joffrey.
coachable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, a
Yeah.
big part of that is he saw what Joffrey was. I mean, he grew up with Joffrey probably being cruel to him. We know that he tortured one of his cats at one
Yeah.
point, right?
Would
They
it-
mentioned that.
Well,
Isn't
not
Tommen
sure.
the one who said, would you like that? And Tommen says, no, I wouldn't. Would you like to see Robb Stark's head on a side? I don't know what it...
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
What the-
yeah.
He says that. He's like, no, I wouldn't.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have the taste for cruelness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Cruelty.
so my favorite part of this episode, it was a super sweet scene. There's never
The
been
rape scene, right? Super sweet.
Joffrey on the table. No, there's never lived a more loyal squire. That was just the best goodbye, because it's like, this is farewell, but no one will ever top what you've done for me. You know, and Pod realized that. He's like, thank you, my lord. You know, and it was one of those, it was just a good-hearted scene that Pod needs that.
And Pod didn't want to leave. He was,
No.
and Tyrion was like, "Do not fucking die for me,
Because
that's the worst thing you
Pod
can do."
called out, or he basically said, they came to me and said they can make me Sir Podrick Payne if I testified against you that this and this and this. And Tyrion's like, he's like, so you're gonna do it?
It sounds good. Podrick Payne's got a nice ring to
You got
it.
not- and he was actually
Yeah,
telling him,
that's right.
fucking do it. You know, testify against me, and Podrick's
You'll
like,
be safer.
You'll be safer. And Podrick's like, no, I'm not. And that's when Tyrion's like, you need to go. You need to
If
get
that's the case, get the fuck out.
Yeah, you know, thank you. You know, I appreciate it, but
Much love.
you know, but it was just it was a very powerful scene, and you could see the care and love between the two that really, you know, has gone. It's been obvious, but it's like understated.
You know, it's basically gone to Renly and Loras territory.
Hey, tripod the horde layer. You know, it's
I don't think it really has.
no. All right, Luke, finish this up.
My favorite scene here was Tywin and Oberyn. I feel like this is another one of those master dance classes of, just Charles Dance is incredible. And he's had so many great scenes with other great actors. And
Pedro Pascal.
He has been just kind of running the show, like kind of taking the show by storm.
Yeah.
This first in 3 episodes, like the first scene with him, it's hard not to like see this guy is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like this guy is gonna be something. And but this is the first one-on-one interaction we've had with these two, and it's if I was on the Blu-ray commentary, I would say they've just got such great chemistry, and that's
These
really
two
what
have
makes.
such
I
great
just,
chemistry.
as a writer, love writing for these actors
Yeah.
specifically. No, but it's a really good scene. I like that Tywin is candid with Oberyn. He's like, I realize you hate me, and you have probably pretty good reasons that I'm not going to admit, but we know what we know, and we know what we don't know, and I know what you don't know, and you know what I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good scene between those two.
Exactly. No, agreed. It was actually a very good episode overall. And again, the rape scene, you take that out, it's probably easily a good top 10 of episodes of just good actual scenes going on.
I really just hope that rape scene was like driving things forward. Like, and talking to you now, I feel like maybe it wasn't. Like, I thought there was like something coming from it. Maybe I just like by design needed to not like it. I don't know. So disheartened.
So, if we're done with our favorite thing, we are going to move on to other podcasts. Glenn, would you mind telling us about the podcast that floats down here?
Yeah, so basically there is a podcast out there called Floats Down Here. It has some of our hosts for this show, Luke, Benji, Melissa's also in it. Basically, if you like it, read it, watch it, learn about it.
We came with a list of names of things that we talk about.
Well, you guys should do the fucking things then. Pennywise the Clown, Bill Denbrough, Stanley Uris, Beverly Marsh,
Never mind.
Mike Hanlon, Eddie Kasperback. Learn more at thepodcastthat.com.
Great job, Glenn.
We love you, Glenn.
Hey, great.
Go into voice acting.
So now we're going to go for my predictions.
Yeah, Abby, what do you got
First,
here?
Okay, so I have a convoluted write-up of what I got going on here. It's crazy. So I'm going to start with my number 2 prediction. It can be a number 1 because number 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, and 4 all kind of run together. Anyways, number 2, Marjorie marries or attempts to marry Tommen.
Okay.
That's I think that's just on the list. It makes sense strategically for Tywin and Olenna. I just think that's how it's gonna go. I mean, age-wise, that's a little weird, but who knows? I don't know.
And Ab, sorry, I had to run and make water. What was your number 1?
I didn't pick because 1, 3, and 4 are all basically the same thing.
Okay.
I apologize about
No,
that.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Not really. Never mind. 1 and 3 are the same. The necklace. We're talking about this necklace, right? That you guys were also vague about.
From the neck.
Vagabond.
So we know that the what's his name was involved, and Microfinger, the funny guy, not Dantos. Yes,
The funny
The
whore.
fool.
not the
funny
funny whore.
fool.
The
fool.
you know whatever
The
he was
funny
called. I'm
man.
sorry. So
The funny
Dantos and Microfinger involved. It was on Sansa's neck, and I had written down that maybe Varys, Tyrion through Varys somehow got to said he wanted to do this. I just cannot believe that Tyrion, sorry, these T names.
Big T.
Tyrion in any way had something to do with this. I do not think he did. So it leads me to believe that there's somebody else. I think Microfinger, Sansa's not involved. She was absolutely at least dumbstruck. She's talking to Microfinger who set
You
this
could
all
say
up.
She was a cat's paw.
Yeah. So who was sitting by them? I don't
This is your
know.
speculation.
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
your
I
speculation.
mean, you.
I mean, do you want us to tell you what it was, or what our guesses
No, I'm
are?
just trying to think through this. I was trying so hard to make the speculation and say, okay, so Tyrion touched her necklace, grabbed one off. I can't make that. So I'm sorry, that speculation sucks.
Was
I don't even have
Varys
to-
involved? You mentioned him. How about that?
Varys, yes.
Okay.
Varys was involved.
Okay.
Okay. So the necklace, fine. Varys was involved with the necklace. That's number 1. Marjorie marries Tommen's number 2. I had to write a couple more because. Oh, so I have number 3. Tyrion is twice the man of any other man in King's Landing, and if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
So you're saying Tyrion is innocent? Is your
Well, I'm saying he's
Or
going to
you're
be
saying
found
he's
innocent.
innocent.
It won't be proved that he
No,
was
no, no, no.
guilty.
and he's
I
going to
think-
prison for
so-
vagabond.
No.
for robbery.
What I-
of,
Bankruptcy
no, it was robbery of fucking memorabilia.
We're going to go with Varys was involved. That's a prediction. Tyrion, I don't think he was involved. But I do think that he will be found not guilty, let go somehow. He will continue on also. Maybe with this hanging over his head. I don't really know. But I don't think he's going to be found guilty. I don't personally think he had anything to do with it. Now, number 4. May I make a prediction because I've been reading the books?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So this is where...
This is where letting you
Okay.
read the book early backfires on
Right.
us.
So, in book 1, we get a lot of visual description of characters.
Okay.
They also talk about John's mother in book 1 and how Sansa had mentioned it once to her mother or somebody and then was never allowed to talk about it again. I don't really know. This lady who is named in the book and then is not named again, but she's named in the book and I can't remember the name. But anyway, she's described as having violet eyes.
Okay.
Dany is also described as having violet eyes.
Okay.
John and Dany are fucking related, and Ned is not the daddy. It's like a Maury show. Okay? He's not the
John and
daddy.
Daddy are fucking related.
And there's a couple of ways I
and
can get
Ned
there
is not
because we also know that I want to know about Ned and Rhaegar's relationship prior to the whatever, because we know Rhaegar and Dany are siblings. And Oberyn's sister, I can't ever remember her name. I always call her Oberyn's.
Martell.
Okay, Eliana.
Elia. Okay.
She is married to She is married to Rhaegar, and Rhaegar is a known cheater.
Okay. I'm following.
A cheetah?
He is a cheetah.
So
we know
if
that.
Rhaegar had a child with somebody, it would make Jon Snow, or if that child was Jon Snow, it would make him a dragon.
So
or
you're
whatever.
saying that Rhaegar Targaryen is Jon's dad. That's
Possibly. I mean, I don't know, because he's a known cheater, and this is all coming out from reading book 1
Douchebag.
right out simultaneously from this violet eyes or whatever. And the biggest thing is like, oh, dark of hair, dark of eyes, dark of hair, dark
Hair
of eyes.
gold.
The way,
Lionel
yes.
Richie Baratheon.
and then I was like,
Girl of hair.
oh wait,
All
that's
night long
not
of
his
hair.
kid. Like,
all night
it
long
just-
of hair.
it seems like if you have brown eyes and I have brown eyes, we're related. So, but yes, that's what I'm getting.
Okay, so the official
Dany and
speculation: John
Dany-
and Dany are fucking related,
Fucking related.
and Ned
Yes.
is not the dad, potentially Rhaegar.
Yes, because Oberyn is pissed that his brother-in-law or whatever cheated. I don't know, but I'm so confused. I'm very confused. I don't know.
Good. We like when you're
Because-
confused because then you have bullshit speculations.
Because if-
and they're
Yeah.
hilarious.
But if Oberyn is his dad, then why would he have violet eyes? Because the violet eyes would be the Targaryen line, unless Oberyn is fucking his sister who was dead. I don't know. That would be Dany. I'm so confused. I don't know.
Okay,
Ooh,
good
it's like
speculations. Good speculations.
All right.
This
Yep.
was fun.
And-
Lost.
And you're done. Until
Sorry.
next week. So,
No, those were
Yep,
fun.
yep.
I like them.
yeah.
Fun and stuff.
Excellent. So we're going to move on to our house name and such. We will just go down the line. Glenn, what is your information?
House name, Glen of House Dog.
What's on your business card?
House words, you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. House Sidge is a Spuds McKenz with a jersey on. House Ancestor, the Duff.
the Duff.
The
The
Duff.
Doof of Dunsandale.
Same guy. Personal Twitter at Popsicle Stand.
All right, I'm Slive House McLean. My house words are "It's dangerous to drink alone." My house sigil is 3 gold triangles and a field of red and black. My famous house ancestor is my great uncle John. He's the savior of winter celebrations. And you can find me on Twitter at Sly McLean.
I am Lucan of House Blackmead. Ours is the drink. We have an obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background. Our famous house ancestor is Ashmere Rivers. You'll learn more later about him. Personal Twitter at Luca Ferocious.
And I am Gertie of House Condescension. Our words are "We don't quit." My sigil is a field of white with a raven sitting atop an up-pointed black chevron. My famous ancestor is Casey Jones, and my personal Twitter is at GoHomeGertie. My final thought, good episode.
Nice final thought. None of us. We all forgot.
Sorry.
All right.
I was just
I
reading down the
apologize
line.
for doing it correctly.
Yeah. So, become a Patreon to get access to our epilogue episode, which we will be discussing next for our live YouTube viewers, which is fuck
Some guy, some kid,
beyond that.
that little kid.
If you want
From the
access
Shire.
if you want access to that, make sure you go to patreon.com/stayimaginary for all the ways you can help better keep our beer bank full. Check out the podcastthat.com/support us. So, and anyway, as always, follow us on Twitter
At any rate.
at No One Drink. Send us a digital raven at noandrink@gmail.com.
We're also on Instagram now.
We're-
That's a new thing.
we are on Instagram.
Check us out tomorrow.
at No
on
One
that.
Drink.
At No One Drink.
No One
yeah.
Drink. Excellent.
I don't know how to use Instagram, so we have
It's
one.
super fun.
We'll figure it out.
Sure.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do it
Figure it
live.
out.
We're trying,
Fuck it, we'll do it
we're trying to
live.
get on Pornhub as
At
I cannot wait to
no man,
subscribe to
one
that
woman.
one.
at No and Fuck on Pornhub.
So subscribe, like, rate, and leave us comments on iTunes and YouTube. And until next time,
As always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
As always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
Ooh.
as always, winter is coming, and so am I.
And as always, fucking stay imaginary, folks.
Cheers, bitches.
How do you know this?
That's what I
Winter's
do.
coming, comma.
I drink
Yes,
and I know things.
Winter is coming on Benji's face.
Winter is coming, me too. What? Pause. Stop.
Yep. Stop. Drop.
Turn
Roll.
Turn around.
Open
open
Roll
up,
that
shut.
motherfucker.
Roll that beautiful beat.
So, all right, who's still in the chat here? Because I know Bailey, you're still here. Da, you still here too?
That is what. How do you guys focus on all those things? Like you have the chat and the
is it
Google
one more time?
Stream
Is it
and the
blinking
workbook. How I can't do it all.
Multiple
I can't.
windows.
Click
Multiple windows. But I don't have the
I
video.
have to.
Like, I just learned this about 2 or 3 episodes ago with the chat. I can
Pop-out chat.
Pop-out chat. I didn't know about that.
Pop out chat.
And so I have the workbook up and the chat.
That's exactly what I got going right here.
Yeah.
What?
Here, I'll show it on screen.
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of assholes. You don't tell me anything.
We are figuring this out.
Yeah. So,
Like
yeah.
recently.
Oh, could
So,
you
like,
figure it out,
figure it out,
Chris?
Abby.
So, like, yeah,
That's what I appreciate about you,
mine.
is you figure it
Is
out.
that what you appreciate
So
about me?
the little 3 buttons up top of the chat,
okay, yep.
you can hit
Yep.
that, and it says pop-out chat, and it creates a pop-out.
Pop out chat. You assholes. I see it.
Hey, guess what?
This is the first time you've been in chat, so
I think we've.
it took me
What was it
a
like?
season.
What was? Because we didn't live stream every season 3 episode.
I think we
right?
started on 2. We started like 3 or 4.
We
Like,
did
It's when
several, but anyway.
kept
yeah.
saying on whatever.
well, we were doing
On-
Twitter,
and
like,
you were
or
like,
we did
I'm
Twitch.
Twitch.
Kitty
It was.
Twitch.
It
Yeah,
was
up until maybe
8 or 9. It might have been 9.
okay.
no.
So who's OTDA?
Da is. I think his name is.
DA.
Yeah. Just,
Okay,
just
so
call him
DA.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
who you're referring to.
Cool
Okay,
as
hi
shit.
DA.
Good
Sorry.
guy. Good guy.
Gotcha. And then Bailey. I know Bailey.
You know Bailey.
then-
That's your new co-host. How about that? How about them apples?
I know. I'm so excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And
Totally
then-
missed that conversation, like, as it was going on, and I didn't see it until, like, Bailey had already been, and I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Already been deemed.
Nominated.
Already been nominated and deemed and finalized, and I was like,
And like the gavel dropped. I
Yeah,
was trying
and
to
I'm
find a
It
gavel
actually
on
happened
emojis.
before I could even like put the final say on it. It was like, oh, 2 for 3. All right, that's a thing now.
yeah. Well, and I was like,
Not that I would have voted against.
I
her.
might do that, like reading like the
Bullshit.
initial, and I'm like, I could probably get in and do that, and then I scroll down, I'm like, oh, nope, I'm out.
Yeah,
all good.
well,
I couldn't do that because
hey, if any, so
Can't hear
this
you.
is
Yeah,
the
you
real
turned off.
deals. You ready? So if anybody hasn't watched it, Luke, you're included in this. I believe it is so the 4th. Then we have what would the next 7 days be? Saturday's the 4th, August 4th. Let me pull up the calendar.
somehow I got.
August 4th, August 11th. So I'm going to be doing a bonus episode. This is going to be for anybody who would like to watch the shows season 1 through 4, first time watchers. It'll be in the week of August 12th through the 13th, or 12th through the 18th.
And
Sorry
what
about
are you
that.
doing with it?
That's for you, bro. it's for episodes 1 through 4. Just like first time watcher. It's not going to be like a
You're just
full
doing
run
bonus
through
episodes.
bonus episode or 1 through 8. It's the first season 1 part 1. Like season 1 episodes
There's
1
your
through 8.
co-host, your other co-host.
Yes. So if you want to jump in on that, let me know. That's like will be our hey, what do you think of the show? Nothing too like in depth or whatever,
Cool,
just
yeah.
a bonus episode.
I could probably make that work.
Okay. So it'll be the week of August 12th. Let me know who or no, you're good, Joe. You can come on over here. I will. Joe's been tiling downstairs. Here.
Hi, gang.
You can put your ears in an ear in.
There's not your average Joe.
Hi.
How's the tiling going?
Well, good. I'm done with the laundry room, so.
Nice. Do you need more
I'm excited to
ankle
see it.
socks, or you good on borrowing my ankle
Oh
socks?
my god! Do you remember the night I was like, Joe needs ankle socks?
No.
He's got
Oh, he's good. He's good.
We found his sandals.
We did find his sandals underneath the
Glenn
couch.
found his sandals. Thank God, because he made me stop
Thank
at
God.
fucking shoe carnival. He's
Glenn
like,
Dog from the
nobody in
Uncut.
North County wears sandals. What the fuck?
They don't. I swear they don't.
So
That's-
he's pissed.
Well,
that- I
not
like North
anything but
Carolina.
like sports sandals.
Oh,
Sandals are
Yeah.
you said North County.
Yeah.
You did say
But
North
it was the no, it was the North County
You heard it.
Yeah, the one
Shoe-
with
shoe carnival.
Yeah. Oh, I got okay. So yeah, no one in North. Yeah, you're right. You have to go West County or so to get.
Yeah, he was pissed.
Yeah, you have to be the worst.
That's
to
all
wear
we live
sandals
here
all
at the
time.
beach, you know.
I March to October. These
At
feet are
least.
bare unless I'm at work.
God,
Your nose is
pushing me.
Is it?
You can share my mic.
Oh, I just scratched.
I know we
something.
gotta go. 'Cause
Yep.
You guys are doing a bonus
Is it like-
episode, though,
oh,
aren't
Oh,
you?
are they?
Yep. We gotta
No,
kick,
no, no,
kick
I mean-
you guys out.
Yeah. Okay. But Ali, but I don't know that
Yeah.
name yet.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's
Joe.
significant.
Joe, you can say hi to your new co-host on Fights and F Words. Bailey's in the
on
chat.
here.
Is she listening right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in the chat over here.
She's listening?
Yeah.
Hi, Bailey. Sorry I said funny things about you and Luke when I was intoxicated.
She was already passed out by that point, so it's all good.
Oh,
During the
Oh.
trivia.
my God.
So well.
I was ready to pass out, too.
It was a
And you
fun
guys know how to
time.
party.
There is the
Anyway.
10-hour version of that up online.
Never turn it off.
I woke up and
Oh,
was
really?
like, I don't think we turned that off because
Oh, shit.
we and
So I
actually
heard
we never
all the
came.
shenanigans.
The stream never came back for the final scene for the final round. We never flipped back on the computer. So we were like, "Oh, we'll be back for the final lightning round," and we never did. We have it recorded, so like I was able to get it to fix it for like the main audio portion of it. But
So that's all on YouTube.
Sorry, live listeners.
it's all on YouTube.
So you could probably see me sleepwalking, because I remember.
No, because it was on the standby screen,
Hey, let's-
so there were no
okay.
cameras.
There's
It was
no
just
cameras.
We'll let
it was
you
like
go.
8 hours of the annihilator method
my
playing.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I
Yeah,
got up
serious
the next
question.
morning and
Hold
I
on.
was like,
Were you
the
sleepwalking?
entire podcast.
I remember going,
Joe.
like laying down in my bed, and then I woke up on the couch upstairs. So
There goes Glenn.
yeah,
I
no,
was
because
hoping it was gonna be
I got
recorded.
up the next
So,
morning and I was just like,
here's-
hey, Luke, because I turned on YouTube and everything, and I'm like, it's still showing live. I'm like,
Yeah, I saw it.
hey, you know the thing's still going, and you didn't wake up for another 2 hours or so after I sent you that, and it was like, yep,
It
no,
was
but
a long night. Okay, I
Oh,
might
I'm
have been called bipolar. It's fine.
That was the next day.
It was the next day. I was called bipolar. It's fine.
She
Stop
might have been
fucking with your
acting
mic.
bipolar.
You're fine.
So, anyways, I have. Okay, stop. Joe has
It's not ice cream.
Joe has an important question for the podcast realm, I guess, and I have a tidbit
Okay.
for Bailey.
Go.
Joe, go, and then we're gonna go.
All right, this is for you guys.
Okay.
So I just watched. Well, I'm in the middle of season 4, episode 1. Who actually are the old gods and the new gods? Do we know? Do we find out later?
Okay.
it's
I meant to ask that
it's a
during
it's a theological dissidence, like or theological thought. Basically, the old gods are thought of nature. They're the Nordic style gods.
There's
uh,
like the people when they get married.
Yeah,
the
it-
mother,
yeah.
the Smith.
Well,
the
no, that's the new guys.
That's the 7.
That's-
The new guys are the 7.
Oh, those are the 7 that they
yeah, the
that
new
Rob
gods are the
got
7.
married
Those are the-
to.
Yes.
Because Rob,
So the Starks, the Stark children that we have are Ned Stark's kids and Catelyn Stark's kids, or right? Catelyn Tully.
Tully.
Yeah.
Tully are
Right.
Riverrun, which is Riverlands, which are new gods. So the children that follow the old gods are more like Ned. The children that follow the new gods, like Sansa, are more like Catelyn.
Yes, but
So
Rob,
The
and
old
Rob
gods
is a
are the
little bit
three.
more like Catelyn in certain
but
ways.
they got married in front of a heart tree
under
with
with
eyes of the seven.
the words of
words
the
of
seven.
seven. Yes.
A lot of
Okay.
guns
All
out
right.
there.
All right. I get it.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
And she was from
Thanks for answering
Volantis.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
No,
so
thank
it
you all
didn't matter.
for
Girl from
Alright.
Strength.
friends
Yeah.
and
Girl from show, to be clear.
education.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
good.
basically the boil down is the
Damn
old
new
gods
gods.
is nature, new gods is 7 parts of the Christian god or
Damn it,
whatever.
Joe! Now I got a follow-on question.
Last
So,
thing.
if the old gods are nature and we see the
worst.
weirwood trees,
Mm-hmm.
you say
Walking willows.
nature. It can't just be those goddamn trees. Is there other things? You're not going to tell me, assholes.
Well, if you listen to the podcast that must not be named, you'll know that the Whomping Willows are
The
actually
Whomping-
part of.
well, I already said the
Bam.
trees are going to. No, I already
Fancy.
said. No, I already said that the
Was that something that was
trees were
said?
going to get up walking, or
I
that
missed
grandmother
that
Willow
one.
will be coming out.
The
Like, we're
the
gonna-
Whopping Willows must be weirwood trees at this point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
They must be named. Absolutely. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
for Bailey, Joe and I, we have
Here she
to.
goes.
Okay, no, Joe and I have. This is just off topic.
Always.
No.
Is this something
Shut
that
it.
should happen outside of the Drinks and Nose live
No,
stream
no, no.
that's
This
still
is
going
fine.
on?
Bailey, think about it. Joe and I have Scottish Highlander names. You are gonna have to think of yours. That's it. I will give you a glimpse. Joe is something. Laird McStuffin is what I called him, and that's so terrible. And then he told. Well, I said my name was Tasty McNugget.
She said, "Well, if you're so big, I
So-
should be McNugget." And I said, "Yeah, Tasty McNugget."
Or I said McTasty. I don't know. Anyways, you got to come up with a sweet Highlander name.
Listen to the podcast.
Anyways,
McNugget.
Damn, I
We're
remember
out.
that.
All right, see y'all.
So yeah.
Last
See you
thing,
next
no.
time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Last
Thing.
things.
Abby has access to all of the trivia nights, and she can pass it on to you guys if you want it.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Okay, I
I'll
think I
pick
actually
you up.
stole it because you did it on my computer, and I just made a big
There you
copy
go.
of it. So I think I have it.
Perfect.
Nice.
Don't be a
After the fact, that's not
After
why I
the
won
fact.
by a shit ton.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Here,
yeah.
Joe.
Here's the thing. I watched.
I
the-
see how it is.
The last season, and I
We'll
was
put
like,
this on
I
a
was like, I
computer.
would have had you, or at least a good amount of points to catch up.
No, no,
Oh,
you
my-
got
No,
You
'cause
probably
I-
weren't
you
as
got
drunk as
shit-faced.
us.
I was.
I got shit faced.
I
You
was
did,
just.
but I'm saying, like, because when I got home, I stopped drinking, and I was playing along on YouTube, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm
There were some
answering.
real easy ones that I ended up missing
Yeah.
later on. I
Well,
was
like
oh,
the
God.
phrase
Goodbye.
daughters one, because I literally said
love you
2 episodes
too.
beforehand. Love you too, Ab.
Goodbye.
See
Leave.
ya.
Bye.
My question 2 episodes beforehand. Frey introduced 12 daughters.
Yeah.
Name 6 of them. The question was, how many daughters did Frey introduce? And everyone's like, 13, 7, 6. I'm like, God damn it, it's 12.
13 was.
Yeah.
That
I
was
know.
what I said. One off. I felt like it was.
There
I think
were-
I think that's the right answer. I think you were wrong.
All right.
I'm gonna make water real quick.
That's fine.
All right.
So we're going with fuck Ollie for.
Sure. I couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it. And
What about Ollie?
just
This is the introduction to him, and
his justification, his.
him killing Egret at the end. I don't know. And there's gonna be a lot of talk for what is it? Cast of Kings with Joanna Robinson and
Yeah.
David Chen.
Oh yeah.
That's where
'cause-
the fuck Ollie thing comes from.
Well, I found it on Reddit.
It started there.
It started on
He's-
Cast of
they
Kings.
started that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, yeah.
Dave Chen started it there, and it fucking blew up because he was Team Ollie,
Yeah,
and she
okay.
was and Joanna Robinson was Team fuck Ollie,
Gotcha. Yeah.
and it was hilarious.
I like that you liked my note. The way and fuck that kid. He's gonna have some issues.
Yeah, I was hoping he would just say it.
No, well, I mean, and that's why I'm like, don't call out the comma because I'm just like, I wanted to.
Yeah. Leave it ambiguous.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. With this one, I mean, there's really,
This is gonna be short. There's not
Yeah.
a whole lot to talk about.
yeah, because the
And
only,
it's something we're not gonna talk about in the main episode. I can't think of anything else that
I mean,
was
besides
really
the
connective later.
besides the Davos and the Iron Bank.
Right, but like again, that's like the thing we're gonna end up talking about. So this is a good episode, but I feel like there's nothing that's like
There's no
big
standout
question.
Yeah,
like there's no cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Really, it's just like this is where we're at in the story.
Yeah. So no, I mean, this will be a short one. So
Unless we're talking about Tommen.
Tubman.
fuck Tommen.
Harry Tubman.
Let's just stick with
let's
Ollie.
fuck- yeah,
I haven't recapped on everything that he does, but this will be a short. This will be closer to the epilogue. 5 to 10 minute conversations that this was
It's
initially
supposed
supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do I have to do on my side? Anything?
Do you?
Just play the music, right? Because we're still good.
We're sticking with the same live. Like, can you once the YouTube thing you can split, or do you need to restart the?
What are you talking about?
YouTube?
What about it?
Do
Do
we?
you want me to make it 2 videos? I've been making them all just one.
That's fine.
I've just been doing plus epilogue.
And so, Abby, if you're watching the YouTube, cut it out here. So,
Ready?
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
well, yippee-ki-yay, and welcome back to the podcast that drinks and knows things. I am Ben, and tonight, whatever, we're talking on our epilogue episode of Fuck Ollie. We just were introduced to him on this
Can you
week's...
introduce us, who we are, what the epilogue episodes are?
I was getting there. We just talked about season 4, episode 3, where we met Ollie as Egret killed his father, and actually, maybe Tormund killed his mother. I believe Tormund actually killed his mother. Yeah. Stur just said he was going to eat him. But joining me, and as always, is Lucan of House Blackmaid.
Hello, drink it up.
And Glenn of House Dog.
Hooty hoo.
So
The hooty hoo thing is even funnier right now. Glenn and I were at Target the other day looking for something, and we didn't know where it was. And we kind of separated because we're like, split and regroup.
Yeah.
And he's walking around. He found what we were looking for. He gives a hooty hoo across the aisle. So funny. It's like just the call of the wild. Hooty hoo! It's over here. 504 boys over here.
Hooty hoo.
Cash money millionaires.
is that what you think an owl sounds like?
They're hooty
like a
hooey.
barn owl.
So anyway, so we're talking again
wahan,
about
a
Fuck
tahoo,
Ollie.
a
Now,
three.
who in this room is Team Fuck Ollie? Who is Team Ollie's okay?
Team fuck Ollie.
Fuck Ollie.
I mean, at first I was probably Team Ollie's okay, but like after everything that's happened, probably fuck Ollie.
Yeah.
It really
Fuck.
comes down to.
I mean,
Comma,
so
Ollie.
the backing on where the fuck Ollie thing comes from is a cast of kings with Joanna Robinson and David Chen. They go through and they did all seasons
Live.
Probably
Like,
about this point, I think, is when they actually started their podcast.
Okay.
Or close, or a little bit before this, but they went back and redid them all. But they were watching season 4 live, and Joanna Robinson's a pretty well-known person in the community, and she writes for Vanity Fair, and it's a pretty big deal, as they say.
Sure.
And she was very much fuck Ollie. As the season progresses, they just so overplay this John as a mentor to this kid, and
well, is this where the Fuck Ollie started? Or did Fuck Ollie start after he killed Egret?
no, it's before. I mean,
It really did start
So
like
you're right
around
I
here.
think so.
Okay.
I think
Right
so.
off the bat.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it is after he kills her, because then that'd be mostly
Or after
season
he-
5 stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
or
that-
after he stabbed John, even.
no, it was
No,
definitely before that.
Okay.
It was definitely before that, because then it culminates there, because then he dies at the beginning of season 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And is when they hang Ollie along with Thorne and
Yeah.
whoever the fuck else.
The other schmoes.
But that's kind of where this originates, and it's a little overplayed on taking this non-book character just to get this dichotomy of what the wildlings are to the people that live there,
Yeah.
and it's
mean,
a little heavy-handed by the show.
It's
is what some people
heavy-handed,
feel.
but it does, especially for show watchers, it works because you're thinking, okay, you see everything from John's perspective. The wildlings aren't that bad. The Night's Watch are kind of dicks. They're all rapers and murderers. They just think this is our job. We have to, and if you're watching as a cursor, you're not watching as a hardcore watch every minute, dissect every single scene kind of thing. It works, but at the same time, he's a dick. He's just tagging along. I mean, I shouldn't say he's tagging along. He has nothing else to do. And so this rewatch, actually watching this scene again, because it's been a while since I've seen this scene, it kind of makes sense. Because, Egret killed his mom. Egret killed his dad. Tormund killed his mom. And Stir is going to eat the fucker. Eat him.
I mean, he's going through some fucked up. There's no doubt about it. Right. And I'm actually on the reddit.com/r/fuck Ollie. Oh. And it all ends with, and now our watch has ended at season 6, episode 3, when he hangs it.
Nice.
There's nothing past that.
No,
that was fun.
Like there's no new,
Nope.
Nice.
Nope, that's it.
That's after John.
I think they closed it.
Nice. That's perfect.
It was like a good dropping of the mic for John, though. My watch has ended.
Yeah.
When he did that.
See you later.
But I mean, and that's the thing. Like John brings him in as his squire or as his
steward.
Steward, thank you. Brings him in, and he's
stewardess.
He's showing him the ropes, and he trusts him, and that's really where I came on the fuck Ollie thing at the end of season 5, when Ollie goes in. Oh, Benjen's come back. There's news of your uncle, whatever. And John's like, all right, cool. And then Thorn puts the fucking knife in him. Now, and there was one other, and I can't remember who the other was. But then Ollie's the one that puts the fucking final blow in him. I was like, fuck you, dude.
So on just flipping through this was from 2 years ago on the Reddit fuck Ollie thread, which I just love that was such a thing. And this is from Reddit user Amchero, AMCHERO 18.
Mm-hmm.
And you know him.
Yeah.
And I'll just read it because it's like, I miss the old Ollie. Straight from the gift Ollie. Warning the watch Ollie. Training all night Ollie. I hate the new Ollie. The knife crazy mood Ollie. The always untrue Ollie. Stabbing his dudes Ollie. I miss the sweet Ollie. It's Ollie after every single one of these. Sparring with John Ollie. I've got to say that at the time I thought they were grooming Ollie. See, free folk invented Ollie. There wasn't any Ollie, but then Egret looked around and there's one too many Ollies. I used to love Ollie. I even wondered who'd get a new story. I thought it was Ollie. What if you weren't a jerk, Ollie? Chose not to join Ollie. Or, Alistair Thor. That's an A-L-I. And chose not to join Ali. Maybe let John know because that would have been so Ollie.
Ali.
No, it says Ollie.
Oh. Okay.
That's all it was, Ollie. But you went too far, Ollie. So I'll leave it simply as fuck Ollie.
Nice.
well said, M. Chero,
Well
18.
And now here's
2 years ago.
With him killing Egret with the arrow, it made sense. I did kind of like that they tied that in from the fact, because book-wise, Egret, we don't know who killed her. She was just...
We just know it wasn't John.
It wasn't John's arrows. That's it.
Because he feathered his arrows with goose feathers. And
and they were crow or...
something else.
Yeah, something else. But I do like that we get to know who killed Egret, and it's kind of along the lines of, and it was fitting that it was Ollie, because he saw it. He was like, bitch, he had the shot, he took it. And at that point, I wasn't at fuck Ollie, because she deserved it. She killed his dad.
Yeah. I mean, from where he's at,
fairness,
absolutely.
Yeah, to play devil's advocate, his wildlings killed his parents.
Yeah.
Kill you back.
Yeah, I really think it stems more, like you were saying, after the Egret thing, it's the season 5.
The John.
It becomes
Jon
too
Snow.
much.
Yeah.
It becomes
and
the steward part of it.
Not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of the season 5 steward Ollie stuff. Because I didn't come onto the fuck Ollie board until the end of season 5. So I'm definitely gonna be watching and paying attention on that for where it comes. But yeah, it did seem a little heavy-handed. There's this new character, you know.
And they've done that before with like Roz. I mean, Roz was a character, but they consolidate all these characters into one person to tell the story, which I get at times. And I think the main thing is just it comes down to maybe they didn't do this one that well.
Yeah. Well, and again,
a little too much.
And this is again going back to David and Dan working with information that they didn't have, or trying to create new stories, trying to create new stuff in the realm instead of just adapting what was already written. They're trying to add to, or make a
or
new,
at least set up for
Make
where
it-
they think it's going to
make
end
it
up
simpler.
yeah,
and simplify a
to
game of
film,
consolidation.
yeah, and I've said this from for a while now. Dave and Dan are great at adapting. They're not great at creating. But I'm still going to watch the show because it's a good show, and we got 6 episodes left. Only 90-minute episodes. Come on.
That's what it was.
No, they said they won't be
Less
2
than-
hours.
Less than 2 hours.
They won't be 2-hour episodes. So
That's a ridiculous episode. I mean,
yeah, I mean 90 minutes is as long as I'm not even saying as long as. If it's 90 minutes, okay, great. But if they can get everything packed into
if
60
they do
minutes,
do the job right, then I don't care how. I mean, that's fine.
Exactly. It's
Whatever.
If it's good content, let it happen.
yes, agreed. And George, take your time.
Let there be content.
Content.
Let there be
So-
contented content.
Is there anything else with the wall? Like Castle Black, Jaina Slint stuff. Oh,
No,
Nah, we
I
won't
think
get
that we
into
just
that.
really leave it there, unless we want to talk about Tommen for a minute at all. This
Well,
is kind of him
I
going
mean-
into it, but
You said something about Strong Belwas earlier. Did you want to?
yeah,
sure. So yeah, Strong Belwas is really the one that does what Dario does here. It's pretty play by play, and the only other thing that really is done by Strong Belwas is the eating of the locusts later on, which the show just completely drops that out. They go right to the pit fighting of Marine, and kind of leave it at that, as opposed to this. Well, maybe someone was trying to poison Danny kind of thing, or like that open-ended question of we don't really know where that is, and Strong Belwas was eating all these poisoned locusts, and he just gets a little bit sick because he's such a hard ass.
Yeah.
Like he's got such fucking intestinal fortitude.
Yeah. So basically, the way I remember is he's just like a big guy.
He's an Unsullied. He was an Unsullied, and
right,
then
but he's just like pretty big statured, guy. And then like his big thing is he lets people
get one cut on him.
get a cut on it, get one in before he, I guess, ends them.
Yeah.
So
And you can count the cuts.
and did he let the writer?
Did Dario say that?
No.
No, not in the book. I'm saying in the show. Has he said that before? Or did Drogo say something like that?
I think that might be
there was somebody that I thought that said something similar to that in the show. That was it's Belwas that is that way, but
yeah,
I can't remember
And
right now.
it's like
And I'm trying to remember in the books, does he let the writer actually get a cut
I think
on
he
him?
does.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
it's just like ridiculous
Because
with, like,
Danny freaks out. She's like, I've seen Drogo. I saw my badass husband die
Yeah,
from
my
a cut
Drogo.
less than that. My son, my moon, moon of
the
my
moon,
life.
yeah,
Son of my sun and stars.
my moon's over my
Yeah.
hammy.
Check
and,
my Shiraki on.
and that's the thing. This is one of those gimmick consolidation things. I do like the character Strong Belwas from the book, but this one works.
Easy drop, honestly.
Easy drop because
It's a great, fun side character.
Well, it made sense too with the Arston Whitebeard introduction because Arston's his squire.
It needed that.
But here we know who.
You know who Barristan is.
Yeah, visually to reading, it's not as easy to hide him.
Right.
So it's just easier to introduce
Oh,
him.
that's Barristan the Bold. How does she not know this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Reek thing.
Barristan the
Why they
Bold.
couldn't.
They bow to me.
Couldn't do the Reek
Come on,
introduction
man, they bowed me.
in season 5 or 6. With Alfie Allen, could be like, that's Theon. That's
Right.
yeah,
So with Reek and all
why
that.
they keep
yeah.
it going. So those kind of consolidation stuff I like. But yeah, I wanted to see the Locust. I wanted somebody. I would like Tyrion to nibble on a Locust.
But it doesn't really do anything for the story, really.
It doesn't. But
I mean, for the way the show has done it, that is one that I thought they did a good job of just working it out and
Yeah,
making it all about Danny.
Yeah, and they did. I would just say, like, just some callback to, hey, or even have, her husband, Nezdar.
Hizdar
Lorek. Just offer her.
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Which,
He's like,
yeah, did you notice that? I was
like, yeah, they showed him several times.
Well, because give it 2 episodes and he pops up, so it's not really a spoiler. It's just
no.
Lenny fucking Kravitz. But I kind of would like him to say, "Hey, try the locust." No. At least mention the fucking locust.
Mm-hmm.
Give us book people something. But again, it's a non-thing. Do we want to go Tommen really quick? And is there anything really on Tommen? I mean, Tommen's a good guy. He's one of the few characters
Just consistently decent.
Yeah, I lump into the Brienne. There's nothing bad about him. He's naive, but he's fucking 10
He
years
tries
old.
though.
Yeah.
He likes cats, which is a strike.
But he likes pussy, which is a plus.
He is a fan.
Pussy cats. That's if mom's still watching.
little baby.
She's not.
pussy.
I know. little baby pussy.
And yes, mom was watching.
Mom was watching.
Podcast mom.
No, mother of drunkards.
There you go. All right, I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think we're out. So
Yeah.
Let's shut this Jojen train down.
thank you for joining us for our Epilogue episode. Join us next week when we will be discussing Season 4, Episode 4. I don't know the...
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker. There we
I
go.
believe.
I think you're right. I'm more than positive you're right on that.
It's actually Oathkeeper. Sorry. Breaker of Chains is...
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep, Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper. So excellent. So
Keeper
until
of
next
chains.
time,
Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.
as always, winter is coming and so am I.
And as always, stay imaginary.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.